promoted linebackers coach Zach Core to defensive coordinator. The guy who had that role this past season, Terrell Williams, is now cancer-free. He's also been promoted to a higher-ranking role on the coaching staff. Also, former Patriots football research director Ernie Adams has been named the new interim head coach at Phillips Academy. Soon-to-be free agent wideout Mike Evans announced yesterday he plans on playing again, whether it be with Tampa Bay or another team. He's due to be a free agent. Celtics are back from the All-Star break tomorrow night on the road against Golden State. Jayson Tatum told ESPN yesterday that despite all the noise around him, he still hasn't made a decision whether or not to return from his torn Achilles. In hockey news, today is quarterfinal day in men's ice hockey at the Winter Olympics. First game up begins in about 10 minutes. Slovakia faces Germany. Winner of that game will face the winner of the game between the U.S. and Sweden at 3:10 p.m. Eastern Time. The Swedes beat Latvia yesterday 5-1. Also, Charlie McAvoy skating without a protective cage on his face at U.S. practice yesterday. And the head of the Major League Baseball Players Union, Tony Clark, stepped down yesterday, reportedly over an improper relationship with his sister-in-law, who also works for the union. The Players Executive Committee didn't name a successor yesterday, but they will meet again today. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Boston Prolotherapy. Don't let joint pain keep you off the court, course, or trail. Eliminate that pain with Dr. Franke of Boston Prolotherapy. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
The Sports Hub. Three legendary franchises on one legendary radio station. It's the Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
You
What's going on?
Hello?
All right.
Is this on? Where's Hardy? Hello?
Hello.
Rob?
Hello. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. You can get our podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. It's very exciting. I will tell you this. Hardy texted at like 8 o'clock last night. He said that he was not feeling well, that it was 50-50 if he could come in, but you can't do that. You gotta commit either way. 8 o'clock. If you wake up and you're sick, you're sick. But if you know you're sick going to bed, you can't say 50-50. So Adam and I had to take the decision out of his hands. And we then texted Dan, who did not get back to us. Danny Roach from WBZ TV. He did not get back to us.
I was charging my phone.
But away from you?
Yeah, it was in the bedroom, and I was watching TV in the living room.
What are you watching?
I didn't feel like getting a cord, plugging it into the living room and everything
No,
else.
but what TV show are you watching?
Homeland.
Okay.
The old show, Homeland?
Yeah.
Have you seen it before?
No, gripping. Ooh.
So my ex-wife dropped off randomly like all this crap of mine that was in the old house. Like, and when I say crap, I generally mean crap. Like it was garbage. And it was like DVDs. And I have an unopened season 1 DVD of Homeland, if you would like that, Danny.
You can open it. It's great.
I mean, I can give that to you. I was told it was very good. I never opened it because I didn't. I never got the urge to watch it. But if you want to come over after the show and go through a box of DVDs, a huge box of DVDs, you're more than welcome.
Thank you.
I don't imagine they're worth much money.
No.
But there's things in there that you used to not be able to get unless it was on DVD. These were not mainstream films, so they were expensive propositions because they're like these movies like that 80 Blocks from Tiffany's that like they never released that. So now it's on YouTube. But back then, you had to buy a whole situation to get it. It came with like a book that's in very small print and everything else. And so I had all these, I guess, what would you call them? You would call them...
sets?
No, but they're like prestige DVDs, you know?
Only comes with the box set?
Yeah, basically. And now they're worth nothing. And I don't even have a way where I watch TV to watch DVDs if I wanted to. My son has an Xbox, but it's upstairs in his bedroom.
Right?
Yes, you can watch DVDs. At least you could on the Xbox, but that's connected to a monitor in his room, so there's no way I can watch them. But they're sitting right there in my living room. If you would like to go through them.
Does he play a baseball on the Xbox?
He plays MLB The Show on the Xbox. I know that.
Is the new one out yet?
I don't know. I know that he plays a lot of Rocket League, too, which seems like the most boring game in the world. It's your car hitting a ball into goals. And I played it, and it's just...
like Pong.
It's essentially Pong.
My son used to play that. One of my kids used to play that, too. It's mindless. It never ends. You know,
That's like Pong. Pong was the most useless game.
Yeah, you get to choose your car and you speed around this arena, and there's like one big overinflated volleyball you're trying to hit into the goal at the other end.
And he's been playing that for like 10 years. So I imagine he still plays Fortnite. He's 17. I'm not up there looking at what he's doing all the time, but he's I know I do believe he still plays Fortnite, so I got to hand it to Rocket League and Fortnite. A lot, when we were kids and playing video games, you cycled through them. I mean, the game like RBI, I played well into college. Because
I played Tiger Woods golf well into college. I won when I was out of college, rather, with my son all through.
Yeah, I had Tiger. I had one of the Tiger Woods golf. It's very slow moving, though.
But they changed the putting and it ruined it. I stopped playing.
Well, that's kind of what happened with Madden, is that they made it way too complicated.
Yes.
So, like, the Madden that my son plays are these, like, little games, like these quick games that aren't the full-on thing. Yeah, like, Madden got way overly complicated.
Right,
and they might have...
And, you could ward off fenders. Like, come on.
Yeah, there was too much chicanery with it, and too much play calling. I didn't care for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that I stopped playing that. But nonetheless, Danny Roach is here, and another Daniel from Newton. Dan, hello, sir.
Hey, Freddie. Dan Roach, we got big situations going on in baseball. Is some guy's banging his sister-in-law or stepsister, or I don't know. I haven't been on the Pornhub in a while.
Well, stepsister,
and stuff.
I don't believe that you've not been. I do not believe you have not been on Pornhub because you immediately went to stepsister. So
yes.
No, this was his sister-in-law, which is far less salacious than stepsister, and I don't quite understand how that would be the thing to get you to resign, that you just banged your steps. Now you got me doing it. Your sister-in-law.
Apparently his sister-in-law also works for the union. That is where the improper relationship came in. I don't know what position she holds in the union.
I still don't understand that if two consensual adults had sex, why that is somehow the reason that you have to give up your post. I don't believe that's the reason he had to give up his post. Or was he just so embarrassed that he gave it up? Because I don't know how that's...
How far did you go with her? First base? Second base?
I don't understand if you have consensual sex with someone that you work with. Isn't that the whole... I get it. You're doing baseball analogies. But the thing is that... I haven't worked with women in forever. There's no women. I mean, there's women that work here. I just don't see them because we work in the mornings and... No one gets here until 10 o'clock in the morning. We're out of here.
Want to stop there then.
We're out of here at 10:30.
With that statement.
No, but what I'm saying is that when I did work in offices, the limited amount of time I did, I had sex with women in the office, not here, but in earlier jobs. Not in Boston, but in earlier jobs, I had sex with women in the office. I had sex with saleswomen, consensual sex. And I don't know, and everyone was, because you get a bunch of people in their 20s and 30s working together of the opposite sex, and people are going to be attracted to one another. You're spending 8 hours a day with them.
That's okay, but it's your sister-in-law. That's the part.
No, but how does that? What does that have to do with baseball? And second of all, I could see that happening. Your sister, it's someone you're around a lot. It's not great for your marriage. It's bad for the wife. It's bad for if the sister-in-law is married. But again, I don't understand what that has to do with baseball.
Maybe the union part. They're both in the same office, both work for the.
But that's what I'm saying is that I don't.
Conflict of interest.
How is it a conflict of interest if they work for the same team?
I don't know.
Again, I don't understand.
But it sounds like there might be more to this.
Look, I was married for a long time, and now I never see women. So I don't know. The game has passed me by in terms of inter-office relations. But it does seem to me that just by nature of being around one another all the time, that people are going to get in relationships in offices. And I don't understand how that is somehow this poison pill that if that happens, now you're out on your ass. It really doesn't make any sense to me. I understand when there's a boss with a subordinate, and the subordinate might feel pressure because they feel if they don't acquiesce to the wants of the superior, that their job somehow is in jeopardy, or they feel like if they do something that there will be opportunities. That I understand how that can be a mixed up relationship, but this is like someone he's around all the time, that he obviously is at his house and stuff like that. I don't understand what that has to do with the job at all. I'm very confused, Danny, with what goes on.
I don't think we know.
Did you ever
enough?
Did you ever hook up with someone that you worked with?
A long time ago.
Yeah, well, of course, a long time ago. You're an older man. You worked with your wife.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So before you were married.
Yeah.
That's where you met her.
Yeah.
See? So, what if someone would have told you, and this is your life partner that you have two beautiful children with, and now you're going to have grandkids and everything else under the sun. You've developed a life with this person. That's a beautiful thing. I don't understand how that's in any way a negative for the job.
She was married.
Yeah, but that's between her and her husband.
Well, you could say that, yes.
You're going to let her swing. There's going to be feelings caught up in these things.
In baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Danny brought his A game.
Daniel, go ahead.
Yeah, so what if he expensed gifts for her and stuff while on the job, or bought rooms with her, using the MLB Players Union's money? And also, it's kind of like the Ime Udoka situation. It's kind of frowned upon.
No, I know. I just don't know why. I understand for his life it's messed up, because I'd imagine that that causes a little bit of conflict in the family.
His sister-in-law was his subordinate. You were talking about. Technically, if someone is sleeping with their boss, there's that implied threat.
But
he's the head of the players' union. Technically, she was his subordinate.
I know, but it's his sister-in-law. There's a relationship that goes beyond that. There's a relationship that goes well beyond that.
I think there's also pressure at this point.
Yeah,
with negotiations.
Well,
you don't want any alleged impropriety around the guy.
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. It cannot be as simple as that he just was having sex with his sister-in-law.
No, the timing of it. If this happened 4 years ago, that's different. I agree with that. But we're in a point now where baseball's going to shut down in 10 months, and negotiations, at least early on, are not going well. So you want to make sure you clear the decks and make this as easy as possible, if it's easy at all.
Well, something came out that we can get into later, too, is that Dave Dombrowski said that Bryce Harper, might be on the downside of his career. And Bryce Harper freaked out at Dave Dombrowski.
Yes.
And that makes me think.
I know, right?
And Harper has been the big loudmouth dick from the players union. And so if he's starting to get crap from even inside of organizations, that means to me that he might be lacking a little bit of power. I mean, again, I heard someone talk about it yesterday. There's a lot of people making minimum wage for baseball.
Yeah,
people making $750,000 a year, where there's dudes making $50 million. There's a lot of a lot.
And they can say what they want. It's going to come down to whatever, this issue, that issue, this. As soon as they utter the word salary cap, it's going to shut down.
I know, but the union, you would think, has a vote within the union, right? Where all the players represented by the union get to vote, correct?
Yes.
So if the league presented something, now the strongest voices against any kind of labor peace have been from the stars, like Bryce Harper. And I forget what pitcher. There's always star pitchers that are grumbling. The thing is this, is that if all you need to do is break the union and get people, just get a percentage of the union on your side, I look at any teams. We've gone through this exercise many times. Look through any team's payroll. And if I offer a salary cap floor that's going to raise the average salary or the minimum salary, if I am 70% of the players, I'm willing to take that deal because I'm making $750,000 a year. I don't know how long my arms. If I'm a pitcher making $750,000 a year and I'm one pitch away from Tommy John surgery and being out of baseball, and I'm on the Guardians and I'm one of 8 guys in the bullpen that throws 95, and they basically have 7 guys in AAA to come in and take my job, I want that salary cap floor. And by the way, I don't want to miss a year of pay because I only have how many years of potential
My question
earning.
is, do you think, how many guys do you think would vote that way, even though they felt that way, just because of pressure within the room, within the union, and everything else?
Well, that's
right?
What you would think is that you would get wise to it. That if you got enough people to get wise that it was in their best interest. Now, there would have to be a floor. Now, it wouldn't be the owner's first proposal. It would just be a blind cap to limit spending. In that, if I'm in the union, there's no incentive for me to take that under any circumstances. And then there would be a great deal of pressure. But if the league, through back channels, was like, look, we're raising the floor. This is going to double your salary. And, and this is going to double your salary. This is going to... The medium salary in baseball will probably go up. All this is going to do is limit the amount of people making $50 million a year, and 99% of you aren't going to make $50 million a year. So it's in your best interest financially, for numerous reasons, to take this deal. I think you can break the union if they're smart. Again, everyone that's been vocal about this is like Bryce Harper has no business. Bryce Harper's too old. A, B. His interest.
Right?
Yes, his interest seems solely upon himself. He's yelling at Manfred and swearing at him in the clubhouse. Get out of here with your salary crap. Who are you talking for? You're talking. You've made your money. You've got all this money. You were a kid, 20-year-old kid coming into the big leagues. Like, everyone knew you were going to make this kind of money. What about everyone else? It's a union, not for the very top. It's the union for everybody.
I think, Fred, you're way too logical. That's the problem, is that there's way too many politics involved. There's way too many opinions. There's way too much power involved in the union.
But I just need half, right?
You make it, you make it sound way too logical, because if the three of us sat here and said, listen, the best thing for the future of the game is to have a salary cap at the top tied into revenue sharing, and we got to come clean with the books and what have you, and the best thing for is to have a bottom floor to protect those guys and make sure that they get paid, and when they come into the union, they get a good amount of money to take care of themselves and their family for years. That's easy, but it's way too sounding logical for
guys
it to
like
that
Boris
quickly.
are not going to allow a cap, and
exactly.
but Are there agents, because I don't know, are there agents that represent like a portion of the middle class of baseball? Because if there are, if I'm the agent, I'm saying to the guys I represent, you want this deal, this is better for you, this is what this deal is going to do. And if I can convince half of them, then there you go. Obviously, Boris's clients are going to want it. Yes, Jonathan, you have your hand up. You need to say something.
I was going to say, well, Dan's point is good, but the other part of this is Tony Clark was seen as the good cop for the union.
Yeah.
The guy who is about to replace him, the assistant, Bruce Meyer, is, according to Bob Nightingale yesterday from USA Today, despised by Major League Baseball.
Well, and what
Meyer's going to take over. His negotiating tactics
I understand, John, you've made that point. Do you know what the union wanted to do with him 2 years ago?
No, I do not.
They wanted to fire him. Meyer. They wanted him out. So I don't know how much power that guy's going to have or how long his leash is going to be because they've already wanted to fire him. So I don't know how much the union loves him either. So, I mean, if he's a terrible negotiator and a hardline negotiator, I mean, when was the last time they had to do this? This
signed a 5-year deal, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, if he's this like terrible hardline negotiator, then I don't see him long. I mean, part of negotiating is being able to deal with the other side.
Well, what I was reading this morning is he will more than likely be appointed interim director this morning.
Yes, I understand
and if that's the case, then you appoint him interim director to replace him again in 3 months?
Why not?
It just it speaks to unsteadiness.
Well, John.
During a period of time.
Well, John, the Players Association guy unexpectedly quit yesterday at 6:00 in the morning. There's a bit of a panic going on. He's the second in command. What do you want him to do? Get 5 candidates today together and go, who's going to be the interim? I mean, Tony Clark was supposed to meet with the Guardians at this yesterday morning. And he canceled the appointment and then announced that he was quitting. The union needs a representative. This guy is second in command. Yes, in 3 months they could replace him.
And what's awful is
Absolutely.
as soon as I heard the news, the first 2 things that went through my mind are there's going to be a lockout and there's no salary cap coming for whatever. That's what's going to happen for now. Now, maybe down the road they can get the salary cap in, but the first thing I thought of as a fan of the game, they're going to have a lockout.
Well, there'll be a lockout, but if the owners don't want a salary cap, they can break the union. I mean, there just won't be a season.
That's what I mean.
Right, but there would be a cap.
I can't handle that.
Well, I don't like that either. For a lot of reasons, I don't like it. But I'll tell you this, is that if the owners want to break the union, they'll break the union. If they want a cap, they'll get a cap. A lockout by design is that we've locked you out.
Yeah, the owners are unified on this one, with the exception of Cohen and the Dodgers guy. Every other owner wants this, which has been different than negotiations in the past. You know, there were some who wanted it, some who didn't want it. Now just about everybody wants it, and it's the old adage of billionaires negotiating with millionaires. The billionaires usually win.
And I've never understood the reasoning of why you just can't all, like, Fred, you just, for 10 minutes, made all the logical opinions you can want to have and make on both sides. Why you just can't get into a room for how many ever days that it takes and just get it done and present to the union, this is the best possible deal and here's why. The lack of trust is probably the biggest thing between the owners and, like John said, and the players. But there's got to be a happy medium right there that says the game's growth. They're projected to have $100 million per team coming up as the TV revenues continue. There's got to be a happy medium here where you all can't be that greedy. Take care of the bottom guys, take care of the top guys, get a salary cap, and just be on your way.
Well, I can tell you this, is that the public is very much on the side of the salary cap, and don't underestimate that, because every writer is going to try to justify there not being a cap, and not one fan's going to go for it. Every writer, the Jeff Passons of the world, everyone is going to go how unfair the cap is, because they're all at their hearts fanboy that want the players to like them.
But if you're a fan of the Oakland A's, you're like, why don't we have a floor?
If you want baseball to succeed, you need to have teams be competitive. Well, the owners could just spend more money. They're not. That's what. Don't get me started on that. This whole identifying a problem and then you're just going, well, if. But that's the problem. It's not happening. There needs to be something in place to make these owners that aren't spending money spend more money.
Right. Because if you
and
ask
limit the amount that the two teams basically are spending.
Yes. If you ask 10 Major League Baseball fans today on the street, who's going to win the World Series? 9, maybe 8 would say the Dodgers because of how much money they spend.
Well, anyone with a brain would say the Dodgers. Why would you pick anyone else?
Yeah.
They have no flaw on that
reason
team.
why?
They've literally no flaw on that team.
And why don't they have a flaw?
Because they've spent a ridiculous amount of money, and it's all prorated and spread out. It's all ridiculous. It's like not even that much cash. They're just it's just so terrible. The whole system, and it was just negotiated 5 years ago, which is insane that they allowed that to happen. I mean, they really got to do a hard reset of that sport. They're better off not playing than they are keeping it like it is now. It's better off not to have a season. You can't have a sport where 25 of the teams don't stand a chance. It's ridiculous. Well, they should just spend more. Pittsburgh makes this amount of money. They're not doing it. Something has to be in place to change this.
And that was part of, again, he's been, crushed here in this city. But John Henry's argument was, why should I spend all this money when I'm giving all this other revenue to these teams that don't spend any at all?
Right.
They're taking my money out of my pockets and not spending it on their product.
Right, because the solution had been revenue sharing, but it's not working. So that's not working. So make it a way that these cheap teams have to spend a little bit more money.
Let's hammer out a deal, Fred. We'll get it done.
Absolutely. I know everything about labor agreements.
Thanks for calling me in today.
There you go, Danny. We started it hot because of Dan
Bring
and
it
Newton.
on.
Dan Newton brought in baseball, and we got hot.
Right. You want to go?
We got hot, baby.
Yep.
Early in the morning, sports, hot sports. Don't wait up. We'll be here all
First
morning.
Call's Pornhub or whatever. Don't worry about that. We'll talk baseball.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right?
Strap in, bitches. This is only going to get hotter.
Oh, Fred, that's easy. Easy.
My bad, buddy. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned.
Hardy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy, on the Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
All right. We are Toucher and Hardy. Dan Roach is in for Hardy. I'm putting up the wrong microphones. Johnny, what's going on? What happened last evening?
Well, not a lot of sports happening at this time, but we did have some off-season news from the Patriots yesterday. One of the bigger questions that was being asked after the Super Bowl run was, what were they going to do with defensive coordinator Terrell Williams, diagnosed with prostate cancer last summer, spent the whole season away from the team. Linebackers coach Zach Core stepped in, and when the media asked Mike Vrabel about it earlier this month, he said this.
We'll have to work through. T's healthy and been given a release to be back at work. And so, again, I'll work through all those things here in the next couple days, weeks, however long those decisions may take.
As it turned out, it didn't take very long. Williams given what was termed a higher-ranking role on the coaching staff, and yesterday the Patriots made it official, making Zach Core their defensive coordinator. Just the beginning of a long off season. The franchise tag window is open, Dan. I don't think the Patriots are going to use the tag, but this is the first step of a long process.
And it was a logical step, too, because, Terrell was out basically the whole season battling prostate cancer. Tried to come back, was actually on the trip, the Super Bowl trip, and I remember talking to him and how grateful he was about the opportunity and life and just kind of he's in a good place. And not shortly after that I left him that he passed out or he tripped and what have you, and was okay. But I think it was just kind of a sign that he's got a long way to go. He's had health problems in the past. I think this is maybe the best way for Mike to say, listen, you stay with us, you stay with me. We'll constantly be in touch and what have you, but the rigors of being out there on the field, going through drills every single day, maybe a little bit too much for him. And Zach Core is only 37, up and rising, and called signals for the defense and for the second half of the season. Maybe even more, and they were a top 5-10 defense this season, excelled in the playoffs, so it was a logical solution for everybody in this situation. And Mike knows him, met him at Ohio State, and knows him from Tennessee. He was with him in Tennessee, so it was kind of the right move for this football team.
But that really isn't the big news surrounding the Patriots this morning. The bigger news, as all of us in the room know, is at the high school level. Ernie Adams, the man with the mysterious title of football research director, hired by Phillips Academy in Andover as the interim head coach. Adams, 72 years old. Doesn't he seem like a guy who brings a lunchbox to school with a tuna fish sandwich in it? How's he going to connect with an 18-year-old?
Well,
I'm just curious.
He's not. But
he's the head coach of their football team.
What is interesting is that when he was with the Patriots and I'd make fun of him, there would always be like a couple guys that went to Andover, Phillips Academy with him, that would step in and set the record straight on his past.
Really?
Yeah, he's got like a posse of dudes that are out and about. That alumni of Phillips Academy.
That's where he grew up with Bill Belichick watching film in the attics of Phillips Academy.
Yeah, very cool. Super cool, and
he was actually helped out the team last year. Was in some ways they'll listen to him. You know what I mean? He reminds me of like Belichick, but from the sense of he just
Belichick's having great success with the kids.
Loves the game, wants to teach it, and I think that's how they look at it. It's only for 1 year till they find somebody else to come in and do the job. But
your son went to
Lisa
Phillips
Yoel,
Academy.
the athletic director, put him in place for an interim of 1 year.
You know,
of course.
Yeah, Lisa Gold.
Yoel, it's Joel, but it's pronounced Yoel.
Oh, I don't like that.
All right,
you got to pronounce it the way it looks. So, but your son went there, so and you live in Andover.
Yeah,
you are you're tuned in to what's going on over there.
Not really, but I kind of stay abreast of what's going on over there.
He just keeps his hand in. Keeps his hand in a little bit.
How is that football?
Fred, you know this. These prep schools are in different levels now, and it's how many grad students do you take? How much you're going to put into the program? What's your goal in that program? Is it to send kids to Division I schools? Is it just education? And Phillips is kind of caught in that. Some years they'll have 3 or 4 grad students and be really, really good. Other years they won't have any grad students and struggle. It's just kind of the way that they can't seem to find a path as to where they're going to be. They're now in a conference. I looked it up.
Yeah, what conference?
The Northeast Conference, or something like that. That
is that
created.
NEPSAC or something?
No, it used to be. They're NEPSAC in everything else except for football.
Okay,
they're too good.
Maybe basketball.
Too good to be in NEPSAC for football.
I don't know about that. I don't ever hear about their football team. I mean, is the football team good? I guess you're saying it's not.
No, it hasn't been lately. They haven't had a winning season.
Yeah, I don't hear much about that
since
football
my son
team.
graduated.
I don't hear much about the sports at Phillips Academy anymore.
The baseball, right?
Their baseball program was really good under Kevin Graber, but he left to go to the Cubs organization, and it hasn't been as good. So he came back, but I don't know his situation. He was supposedly named the Spinners manager. That the Spinners are bringing back a collegiate team in the Futures League. So I don't know if he's doing that or where he's at with that, but they were good for a while. When my son was there, they were sending kids all over the place to BC and Duke and Georgetown and all these schools.
One of the best prospects in the Marlins organization.
Tommy Lane.
Yeah.
Hard left-hander from New Hampshire.
Oh, people love taking their picture with him. He's around. Don't worry about him.
Really?
Oh, he's knocking around. He's going to the training facilities locally. Probably not now because he's probably in spring training. Oh, yeah, people very proud to get their picture taken.
First round pick of the Marlins, right?
Yes, he threw like 98. He was a left-handed kid. Yes, he was rather impressive. Take a prep picture in the first round. That doesn't happen very often anymore.
My son won an EPSAC title with them, and he was my son's story was he was a backup catcher basically his whole life. Great team player, knew the game really well, and through injuries, he earned the backup role as a junior. And started out the season as the backup catcher, and then had a game where the team allowed like 7 runs in the top of the 7th or bottom of the 7th to lose a game, and the ball bounced over his head on a curveball that the kid threw. They didn't see the light of day for a while. But then, you would know this, Fred, he had a really good team combination with a pitcher who loved throwing to him, and the head coach put him back in with that kid, and the kid threw like a 3-hitter, struck out 11. Did it again the next time he pitched. 2-hitter, struck out 12. And they kind of worked together and then went to the NEPSAC and won the NEPSAC championship. So I'll never forget somebody, Harry was at the plate in one of the championship games against like Worcester Academy or something like that, and somebody yelled from the stands, "Just throw it by him. He can't hit the ball. Watch him in the plate."
Oh, that's great.
And
that's
I was
good
like,
stuff from the stands.
I'm sitting there with Pam. I'm like, what the hell are you saying, dude?
Yeah.
The next thing I know, hey, boom, little RBI single to right, 2-run score.
Go.
They take the lead, and I'm like, I didn't say a word though. You know me.
Well, you should have.
Attaboy, Harry. Attaboy. Woo!
That's right. You want to insult the teenagers while they're out there.
Yeah.
Not getting paid.
It's good people.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, just throw it by them. Oh, I didn't think of that. It's like throw strikes. Oh,
is that what's supposed to?
I throw strikes.
Yeah.
Of
course.
That is called coaching, my friend. I was out here trying to throw it as far away from the plate as possible, and thank you so much. There's a lot of pressure on those kids. There was a kid on Miles' team that a bunch of Major League scouts would go see last year, and the catcher, like this kid threw a 92-mile-an-hour slider that like cut like crazy. And he would get pissed at the catcher when it got past the catcher.
Yep.
And you're like, what do you want this kid to do? This thing's breaking into the ground. He's not Tony Pena. Like, what do you want to, like, that's hard to block. Like, you're getting frustrated
My
at the
son
kid.
got thrown out of a game by, not him, but the manager got thrown out of a game for yelling at my son for that exact reason, Fred. He had a kid, he was like 10 or 11, and the kid just couldn't throw the ball over the plate, and everything was bouncing, and it was getting away from him and everything else. And the umpire basically stopped the game and said, enough yelling at this kid catch. He's doing the best he can. Get out of here.
Wow. Because I felt sorry for the kid because, first of all, there's all these Major League scouts there. There was like 20 Major League scouts at all this kid starts.
Oh, man.
This kid's catching him, so there's like this Paul, and they got over and they won the ISL. And this kid that pitched was the major reason that they won. But there was like in the beginning of the season, you could tell like everyone was super tight because if you're catching a guy who's pitching for Major League Scouts, it's totally different than college. Apparently, the Major League Scouts are waiting for you to do something wrong. Like they want an excuse not to take you. And he's a right-handed prep pitcher. I'm not sure where he was going to get drafted anyway. He ended up pulling himself out of the draft. But he's very successful. He's at Virginia now. But like the thing is that can you imagine you're like a pretty good, like you're a good ISL catcher. You're starting catcher in the ISL.
Yeah.
So you're like a good player. But this kid, now I got to catch this kid in front of all these major league scouts. There's like all this pressure on everyone. I felt bad for the kid. But they ended up winning the ISL. It was very emotional. I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried.
It's funny. I got on the highway today, and I giggled because I got on. The car went by me. You know what the bumper sticker or the sticker on the back of the thing was?
I love the Red Sox.
Lawrence Academy.
Oh.
I'm like,
wow,
to see Fred today.
That's unbelievable.
You know?
That is kismet, my friend. All right. Well, listen, they get my money. Don't worry about it. They're getting it. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines. Johnny boy?
Well, let's turn to basketball, Fred. Celtics open up a 4-game West Coast road trip tomorrow night against Golden State. But the big story right now surrounding the team, Jayson Tatum, he's worked out a ton in front of the media. He just released a teaser trailer about a movie about his return from a torn Achilles. And the Celtics game on March 1st at home against Philadelphia was flexed from a 6 p.m. game to prime time, 8 p.m. It would seem that March 1st would be the day he's targeted for his return from a torn Achilles, and his birthday is right around there.
This is so dumb.
Hey,
ever since Forsberg first brought it up, I've been very cynical about this. This seems like now I want this to be a huge dud.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because he spoke to ESPN's Ramona Shelburne yesterday.
Look, I know everybody is seeing that the game got flexed into that spot on NBC in the prime time, that there's a documentary the NBC's affiliate out there has been doing on Jayson. So they're connecting dots, okay? But I checked in with Jayson Tatum and he says, I still have not made a decision on whether or not I am coming back this year.
I haven't made a decision just yet, so you're going to have to sit and wait a little while. I don't know. Could it be a very big birthday for Boston? I'm going to come back on the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States. It's a gift to America. Like, the more Forsberg talks about it, and we'll have him on at 8, about, like, how Jayson Tatum was fantasizing about when he came back, and then he seems like completely clueless, Forsberg, about how that makes Jayson Tatum seem like a child. That if you can come back, come back. If you can't come back, don't come back. Come back on a timeline that has to do with how effective you will be going forward in the season.
It does seem very, very, very planned.
And it's very planned. Extraordinarily self-centered to the degree of, I wonder if he's a moron, because it getting out that you want to do it, he said it, like, I want to do it on my birthday, makes you sound ridiculous. It makes you sound, does he not realize that just in life, you can't go, like, you can't, maybe you want to do it on your birthday, but you certainly don't tell people you want to do it on your birthday. Or you don't say, I want to do it at home because I want to get a lot of cheers. Like, you can't let people know that's what you want.
I have a date in mind, and we'll see.
Right. Like, he doesn't know that, like, if he comes back on his birthday, it seems incredibly needy.
You see, it's interesting. Originally, when they talked to him way back at the beginning of the season, at the end of the summer, they asked him about this. And all he said, Dan, was, I have a date in mind. That's all he said. This birthday thing has come later in the process.
Forsberg talked to him, and Forsberg claims that he was talking about, wanting to do it at home and wanting to do it, da-da-da-da-da.
All right, so let's play a little game. What date do you think, if we had to say to Forsberg later, what date? Give us a date that you think he's coming back. What date do you think he'll say?
He'll hem and haw and say a million things, because when he said the thing about Tatum, having this fantasy about when he was coming back and, like, the right time to do it in terms of the amount of pop he'd get. When I pushed back on it, Forsberg seemed confused, as if I don't know how you wouldn't look at that and go, like, I mean, I tell my kids that, like, you can think that, but you can't let everyone know. Like, I hope no one throws me a big surprise party. I'll be walking into the ground round on Main Street at 7 o'clock around my birthday. I'd certainly hate it if everyone was out there throwing confetti and giving me free peanuts. I mean, please. You got to have a little bit of, you have to be a little demure about the applause that you're looking for. I mean, you've won an NBA championship. It seems like you were a fairly hot prospect coming out of high school. You went to Duke. I'd imagine you were no stranger to applause. I don't know why coming back from the injury would be this God moment for you. You've already had it. You were the best player on an NBA championship team. I don't know how much better it's going to get than that. Well, I don't know why you have to plan when you're coming back from an injury. It makes me want to go to the game so I can sit during when he comes back.
Oh, come on, Fred.
It makes me want to buy like 10 tickets and the only order is to stay silent.
It'll be like college thing where you put up like a paper in front of you.
Right.
You know, just,
Syracuse game.
Yeah.
Like I could take a year's salary and buy like the front row of the game. I could just mortgage all my future and buy like the whole front row of the game.
That's evil.
And just pay everyone to boo.
I mean, he's come back from a major injury, a ruptured Achilles.
Right.
So good for him. 40 weeks was the.
Yes, coming back from the injury is very admirable, and I feel good. I would feel good for him. Planning out when you would get the biggest pop from the audience is ridiculous. That's like showbiz, and it's not even showbiz. The showbiz thing would be come back without anyone knowing that you were coming back.
So maybe he is
on a random date, and
then
he's
coming back that Friday night against Brooklyn instead of Sunday, March 1st.
I want to do it on my birthday. Do you? I mean, you have to admit, even Dan, as sincere a man as Dan is, you have to admit that's silly.
Right.
Yes.
Not that I go into the local 7-Eleven in advance and say, I'll be here next week.
A little bit of a difference.
Do you want to give me a free
do you call all your friends and go meet me at 7-Eleven?
Yeah.
I have a little surprise
Would you like
for you.
blue or red?
I have a little surprise for you. It's July 11th. Everyone meet up at the 7-Eleven. It's someone's birthday.
Yep.
Yes, I find that whole thing a little nauseating. And just because of the lack of self-awareness that you can't do that. You can't do that in any aspect of life. You can't let people know that you want a huge pop. You gotta keep it a little cooler than that. That's just advice to everyone. Can't announce 6 months in advance this fantasy you have about everyone reveling in the gloriness of you coming back from an injury. It's going to happen anyway. Just allow it to happen. Jesus, you might win the championship. Second team in the East. I mean, you're pretty good. They were pretty good without you. You come back, you think they'd be better. I mean, plenty of glory is going to come your way. Don't worry about it. You don't need to manufacture coming back from an injury. Come back. And even Cedric Maxwell was like, I'd want to come back on the road. Like, I'd want to come back like in Charlotte and get it out of my system. Cedric even knew. Like, it's kind of corny. Like, well, he'll say anything. He doesn't care. I shouldn't say even Cedric. Cedric doesn't care.
No.
He's not afraid to share his opinion. That's why he's such a good guest. He doesn't care. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Our friend Danny Roach, even on short notice, came up with a little trivia game for the gang.
I don't know how good it is.
It's going to be good, Dan.
Don't sell yourself short, Dan.
Don't worry about it, Dan. You'll be great. All right. So we'll have that for you in just a moment.
I planned this.
98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Diving effort. He's got a breakaway. To the backhand. Throws it in front. Coming to the spot.
The Sports Hub.
And we're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
We are Toucher and Hardy. Dan Roach is in for Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. And you can download our podcasts and everything else that you need to do. By the way, I went to not Chipotle, but another burrito place yesterday. And I got a bowl. And I asked for jalapeno, and it was $1 for jalapenos. $1 for, but onions they did not charge me for onions. But they charged me $1 for jalapenos.
Must be expensive nowadays to get them imported, huh?
Well, they come in a jar, so I can only imagine the packaging costs.
Were they fresh jalapenos or were they pickled jalapenos?
I would imagine they were pickled because fresh jalapenos have no taste and are not hot. So I would imagine that they were pickled. So regardless, I don't know why that would be an issue, but regardless, they were the onions were raw, but the jalapenos $1 as they were ringing it up, and then they asked for a tip.
More nowadays.
And then they asked for a tip.
Yeah, of course.
Because you made the transaction for the item that you're buying. There was no service involved, but yet there is the tip, which is a whole situation, and it just asks for it. And then if you don't want a tip, then it's a process that you have to go through.
Then you get the stink eye.
Well, the gym, if they ring up like a prepackaged protein shake, like a from a corporation that they did not make, they ask for a tip, which is you've literally just. There's no other way to buy this but than what just happened. The place makes no money unless you do this. There's no gray area of service. I worked in the service industry. You make less than minimum wage. You're tipped, I guess, to incentivize performance as you wait on the table. I under almost no circumstances will tip less than 20%. I often, most of the times, tip more than 20%. And if I know the owner of the place or something, or someone working there, I'll tip for anything. But it is ludicrous that they ask for a tip. And even at the burrito place, whatever, they made the burrito, I guess. But when you're just buying an item, it's like tipping at 7-Eleven. Like, well, what else could possibly be going on?
Lottery ticket, right? Unless you had a scratch ticket, then you could tip the person behind the counter if you want. But
why would you tip for the scratch ticket?
You're in a good mood and happy and everything else. You sold me this. Here you go. It's $5.
Oh, so you're throwing money away, and this is what you've decided to do. You started to throw money. Yeah, you're already throwing money away. You might just keep throwing away.
Mood. Maybe I'm happy. All right, yeah, I won.
But you understand, if you're a shopkeeper,
yes,
and your whole business and way of making revenue is selling product in the store, there's literally no other way for you to make money than to the person to ring it up. There's no other option. There's no level of service there. It is a matter of scanning the item and then just standing at the register while the credit card is scanned. You're really doing nothing. I'm surprised at CVS when there's self-checkouts that they don't ask you just to add some money for the machine.
It has gone way too far the other way. It used to be the previous. There were tipping, less tipping, no tipping, or what have you. And now it's completely gone the opposite way. Over tip. It's all people ask for is tips.
And also, like, if you're at, like, a Chipotle and you want to get tipped, wouldn't you go, like, nuts with the chicken and everything? Like, wouldn't you, like, give a little wink and give you a little bit more? And then you're like, okay, well, that's worth a couple bucks.
Yeah. There's your jalapenos, huh?
Because everything now is, like, $20. So it's $3, 15%, $3. I mean, $3, you buy 3 things a day. It's $10 a day. I mean, these things are adding up. It's not just being cheap. It's ridiculous. Would you like to tip? That's what they say at the gym. Would you like to tip? I've never bought anything that they've made at the gym. Never, ever. Like a water, which I won't buy, but just say, Adam, don't worry, I'm not buying the bottled water. I bring water with me.
Thank you.
All of a sudden, the antenna went up.
Yeah, Adam, don't get worried. I'm not. This is just out of.
I saw the change in my facial expression.
Oh, man.
Each other all
I could feel it. I had it in my back.
Because if you say protein shake, people might not understand that they're not making it like that.
Right. It's not like a smoothie.
No, right. So it's just say, like, if I was to buy a bottled water, which I do, I honestly do not. That's an incredible waste of money. I can't stand it when people buy water. But the like you're going to get poisoned by water. Everything's poison coming out. I believe that would be a bit of a crisis if people were getting poisoned. Like in Flint, when the water was poisoned, it was quite a big deal. National attention, global attention, if you would. But anyway, so you go there and you buy a pre-existing product that no one in that place had any part of making. It was basically shelved. So you're paying for the shelving of it? It drives me crazy.
Bring back the good old days where you had the people making the smoothies in the gym and you had Bird cutting up the bananas.
Well, they do that. And then, see, the thing is that the reason the tipping is there at the gym is they do have tables. And if they're bringing it out to the table, you would tip in advance. And then you sit down and they bring it out and you tip them for the service in advance. So that's why the tipping's there.
Right.
But some people will go, if you'd like to tip, hit like 2. And it's like a myriad of options, including 30%.
I know. That happened to me the other day. Would you like to tip 20, 25, or
That's
30%?
the options
what?
there. It's 20, 25, or 30, which is ludicrous.
Yes.
And again, this isn't takeout, which a good rule of thumb is 10, 15% on takeout because the bartender, or whoever's doing it, has to bag it up and do everything. So there you go. But I mean, I 30% on something that you did nothing for. There was no other option for me to get this. I guess the option would be to get nothing. Anyway, you do your trivia, Danny. I'm too upset with these things. I'm getting very old.
Time to play a fun game with Fred and Johnny. We'll do a quiz and give them a crack. I don't care if they look like a hack. You can root for Freddie. And if he doesn't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3, 4 questions and a trivia game. Play ball!
Danny, are you going down to Fort Myers this year?
No, Freddie.
Oh,
why'd they rip that away from you?
Crusher.
This one was, they went to camp earlier because of the WBC. We didn't leave California till Monday. They reported Monday, Tuesday, first workout. So
why didn't you go right from California to Florida?
There was a huge crew out there.
Why didn't you fly right from California to Fort Myers?
If I had unlimited budgets and everything, Johnny, I would have.
No, you wouldn't have. You were exhausted after California.
I was tired, but I would have gone. It would have been nice.
No, you were exhausted. You were too tired to even come on the show.
No, that wasn't the problem, Fred. We have a dog who's 14 and a half and dying at home. That's one.
Oh.
Things like that.
Oh, well, way to make me look like a jerk.
Yeah, you were like pressuring me and saying he couldn't appear. He's just tired. I was tired, but yes, but we have other things going on. My wife's a saint. I was gone for 10 days prior to that Denver. You know?
Yeah, you were tired.
Yeah, but she had a responsibility. She has a full-time job, plus taking care of the dog, plus everything else.
Well, maybe it's what do you think?
Both kids are gone.
What is the
It's just both kids are gone. Doesn't mean there's not responsibility in the house.
I'm not being mean at all. I'm honestly curious. What does the dog require for you?
He needs to go out to the bathroom more often than he ever has, like every 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
Because he's got issues.
Diarrhea?
He never had issues.
Or peeing?
He just peeped and pooed in the house. He's never done that before. He started doing it.
How old is he?
He's 14 and a half. He's a great dog.
Is he in pain?
We don't think so.
Danny.
What?
Even I put the fluff down.
I know.
She was 21 years old, Danny. People made fun of me. She died in my lap in the parking lot of the vet when we were going to put her down.
Oh, kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap,
She
flap.
somehow knew that we would be leaving each other.
There was that false start, though. You thought she was going and didn't.
She wasn't in great shape, John. A lot of conjecture around here about the ridiculousness of me thinking that I had to put my cat down.
There's one of us. It wasn't. There was only really one person that day.
Anyone else, if they're like, I got to put an animal down this morning. Well, why are you going to do it in the morning? Because you're right. I should have gone and done the show and then come home and then put the animal down, the 21-year-old animal down. You know, just kill it after the show.
Well, that was like my wife was leaving that morning too, to go on a business trip.
Right.
So, and she said that to me, and she laughed. She was gone for 3 or 4 days. She goes, "Don't kill the dog while I'm gone." I'm like, okay, have a great trip. Love you.
I had a friend who was dog sitting in Atlanta, and the dog died while he was sitting there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you got to do some explaining that.
How do you call the family
boy.
to tell them?
Oh, boy.
You have a good trip?
That doesn't go over well.
Right, Spot's dead. You have a good trip?
Yeah, that doesn't go over well.
Man.
Whatever they're saying to you, they're lying. All right, Danny, what is this trivia contest?
I
that you
just
have
came
for
up
the
with a
people?
quick one, Freddie, because you called me at 1:05 this morning to come in.
That's right.
So
I was up.
we're going to do, is this a former Olympian or a Major League Baseball player?
Oh,
okay. So
wow, we would, of course, know this.
You have to pick the Olympian. You have to pick which is the baseball player. We'll start really simple. Okay, was it Will White? What is he? And Sean White. What is he?
Okay.
Former Olympian, former Major League Baseball player.
I have the answer to this.
Well, I know who Sean White is, obviously.
Yes.
Because he's very annoying.
Yes.
He's still around.
Yes.
Anytime there's snowboarding, he's sitting there. He's Ralph Malph's son, if you didn't know that. Every redhead is related in some way.
Nice.
He's Donnie Moe's son. And I take it, and you know the other guy?
I have not heard of the other guy, but I think it was an either-or type of thing. They can't both be the same, right?
Yeah, one's an Olympian, one's about...
No, I just was wondering if you had heard of the Major League player.
No. I hadn't heard of this guy.
Listen, does the game make a ton of sense? No.
No.
But I'm just asking if you had heard of the Major League player.
No.
Sean White is a 3-time Olympic gold medalist in the halfpipe.
Right.
And Will White is Bill White, 8-time Major League All-Star and former partner of Phil Rizzuto.
They were
Yankee
gay.
Broadcast.
I didn't know that.
No, on Yankee Broadcast, Fred.
Oh, how advanced. Did they have to keep it a secret until death?
Okay. All right,
Those
next
were
one.
crazy times.
We good, Adam?
Dan, what's your stance on homosexuality in Major League Baseball?
All right. Kohei
Why would you have a problem answering that?
Kohei Uchimara.
Oh, I'm very against it.
Kohei Uchimara or Masa Murakami? Which is the Olympian? Which is the former Major League Baseball player?
Masa Murakami is the Olympian.
Okay.
I'm going to say Masa Murakami is the baseball player.
John? Masa Murakami is the first Japanese player ever to play in Major League Baseball in the history of the
Baseball.
I'm ahead in this game, Fred.
Kohei Uchimara is a
Congratulations.
7-time Olympic gold
Loser.
medalist.
Yes, congratulations.
What do you suck?
All right. Next one. Lewis Thorpe or
Farrakhan.
Ian Thorpe?
Lewis Thorpe or Ian Thorpe?
Which is the Olympian? Which is the baseball
I know
player?
this one too, believe it or not.
Oh, really, John?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
Okay, so Lewis Thorpe or Ian Thorpe? Which one do you know? Do you know the baseball player or the Olympian?
I know the Olympian.
Well, Otis is an old name.
Otis Thorpe. What was that, a basketball player?
Basketball player for Houston.
Yeah.
Oh, Otis
Back in the
Thorpe.
day.
Yeah, that's
Was he
right.
Providence? Or no?
OT, yeah, the Providence. He was part of that Olajuwon team that won back-to-back titles.
That is, Adam makes a good point in my ear. Robert Mapplethorpe, your thoughts? Go Google
like
it
you
right
don't
now.
know who Robert Mapplethorpe
Dan,
I
is.
don't think Dan does know who Robert Mapplethorpe is.
Can someone print out a picture of Robert Mapplethorpe while we're on the
I
air?
don't know that we want to use the work computers for that.
Why? It's art.
That's the 7:40 break right
It's
there.
not pornography. It's art.
Fair.
It's federally funded art.
That's right.
Robert Mapplethorpe was the muse of Patti Smith as she was the muse to him.
From The Warrior?
Yes.
It's Patty Smythe.
Oh.
Yes.
And he was a very controversial photographer who in fact, you can look in Boston. They had a showing of one of his photography exhibitions, and they had like this huge police presence, but it just turned out to be like a line of curious old people. And so the news is out there. It's this because there's a documentary about the guy. I do want you to look at some of these pictures. Johnny,
Anyway,
pull up Robert Mapplethorpe on your computer. and have
Anyway,
him
I
look at it.
digress. Answer the
this
question.
is the best way to do it. Well, I want you to look at a picture of Robert Mapplethorpe's.
Just him or one of his?
No, one of his photos.
Okay.
Robert Mapplethorpe a photo, and you can scroll through and see which one you want to give him.
All right, hang on.
There's a lot of
I'm working on it.
things
here.
that would seem unpleasant to the average person, which
Yeah.
were enjoyed with his crew. But you should be able to see.
all the good ones aren't. I can't get to all the good ones. I have like abstract black and white stuff I'm looking at here. Hang on. I need a couple more seconds to do this.
I'm going to say that the first one is an Olympian.
Okay. The answer is Ian Thorpe is the Olympian. He's an Australian swimmer. His nickname was the Torpedo.
Yes, sir. 9-time Olympic medalist in swimming.
Yes.
Lewis Thorpe was a 3-year player for the Minnesota Twins. Pitcher. Last one. Ready?
Now I'm way ahead. You can't win this game, Fred.
I know. Now
I
it's
have
tough.
the advantage.
Well, I'm almost completely focused on Robert.
I know. I
Manfred
would be
at this point.
too.
Focus, Fred.
All right.
Jerry Kenny or Jason Kenny? Which is the Olympian? Which is the former Major League Baseball player? Jerry Kenny or Jason Kenny?
Why won't they show any of the dirty stuff?
This is what I'm good. This is what I'm struggling
Telling
with.
you, it's the
I
word
don't
computers.
need to see Oglethorpe.
All
I'm
right.
fine.
Well, I'm gonna have to use my phone.
Yeah. All right. What? I'll answer this.
You,
What?
you play the rest.
Go
of
ahead.
the
Jason
what-
Kenny or Jerry Kenny? This is the last question.
Jason Kenny is the major leaguer.
Nope. 9-time Olympic medalist cycling. Jerry Kenny was 6 years in baseball.
Ice-cold Bud Light.
5 with the Yankees, yes.
Dan, I appreciate you coming up with that game at the last minute. That was very good.
A little bit of fun.
It was. It was good.
Okay, Freddie.
It had production around it and
Yep.
everything.
We had Fred.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first song I ever taught my kids. Each kid.
Okay, here.
All right. Fred's got it.
Fred
I
has
think
the-
we should
Fred
wait till
looks like the
7:40
cat
to
in
do
Pet
this.
Canary.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm good.
Nicholas, I want you to make a video of that and post it online.
Dan's reaction was priceless.
I'm serious, Nick. We need that face online later.
You know, take that song off.
Well, we can't have one with the other.
The juxtaposition is beautiful. Really.
By the way, I showed him a censored photo.
You've ruined the song for Dan because now he's going to equate that to the picture you just showed him.
I'll never do that, Johnny. He can't win.
Just for the record,
Fred's not going to win.
The famous
mentally, he tries every show.
I know.
The famous bullwhip photo has a black mark, so I cannot be accused by HR of doing anything
all right.
unseemly. Because first of all, it's art, which was commissioned and helped pay for by public funds. That was what the controversy was. All right, Dan. Where do you stand on Mapplethorpe? You think that he should have been able to have public exhibits, or do you think it's pornography?
Nicholas!
Well, Nicholas already put on the hockey. By the way, Slovakia up 3-0 on Germany.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, just scored 2 goals in like a 1-minute span. The winner of this game will play the winner of the U.S. game against Sweden.
Tough day for Marco Sturm.
In the semis.
You know?
Is Marco Sturm the coach?
No. He used to coach him. I don't know if he coached it. Was he an Olympic coach for them?
Is he German?
Yeah.
Marco Sturm is very much German.
Because I know the defenseman was German. The Seidenberg, obviously, was German. Yeah, Germany has Leon Draisaitl, but I don't know who else they have.
They have Stützle, who is Tim Stützle, who is the star for Ottawa, star top-line center for Ottawa.
Okay, so they're very top-heavy is what you're saying.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
All right.
We will be coach in the World Junior. His first World Championship led Germany to a quarterfinal appearance.
Well, he's certainly coaching well for the Bruins. You can't deny that.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, wait. Also, under his leadership, the German team reached the final at the 2018 Winter Olympics, earning the silver medal.
It's amazing how little. Oh, but that didn't have pros.
I don't know in 2018 if they did or not.
Yeah.
I'll have to look.
Head coach is a guy by the name of Harold Kreis, in case you were wondering.
I wonder if I could play for the German team. And kind of my name is Toucher. It seems like you can get away with anything with these things. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy will be right back on the Sports Hub.
Moving your home or business? Avoid the headache, time,
Danny Roach is here, and he does not get to go to spring training this year. He's putting the blame on the Super Bowl, but were you at spring training last year?
I don't think so, no.
No, you weren't at spring training last year because we wanted to have you on and you weren't down there. I remember that.
A big part of it is the lack of interest in.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
When did that shift?
Like starting maybe in 19, the 18 team wasn't embraced as like the greatest Red Sox team in history, which it was. And I think it kind of started going downhill then.
So you don't think it was after they won the World Series?
Maybe the lockout, 2020, COVID too.
You think that's when maybe?
Oh, it definitely went down after they won the two World Series in 04 and 07.
Yeah.
You know? Then 13 was, kind of the magical ride, but it definitely, around here, yes, went down after they won the two World Series. The same thing with the Cubs fans. We're talking about the curse of the Billy Goat and everything else. After you win it, it just kind of, it's a natural thing.
Yeah, you didn't have that cute "we can't do it anymore" storyline. So, but you know what's funny is people are still in this kind of position where it's getting out of it with the Bruins a little bit, but you'll still get calls from people bitching about them not spending money. It's just become like a default for the Bruins and the Red Sox, which is why I'm not a huge fan of dumping on the Red Sox at every occasion, except for when they do something like the Devers trade, which is inexcusable. And now you know what they've gotten from it. They got actively worse last year in not just getting rid of Devers, but the players they brought in were worse than major league average players. And so that was a disaster. And now they have nothing to show for it. Yes, John.
That's stupid. I was just going to say, for me, it's not that they don't spend money. It's how they conduct themselves and what they say. They've said for 3, 4, 5 years, we're going to be active on the free agent market. We're going to be aggressive and decisive. And then they'll go out and cut salary.
Can I ask you something, though? Why is it such a big deal that they didn't get Bregman? Like, why is Bregman all of a sudden considered this? Like, how much better would their lineup have been with Bregman? And by the way, wouldn't you rather have wouldn't you rather have the pitching that they got than Bregman?
Well, granted, the starting rotation is the best in Major League Baseball right now because they didn't sign Bregman. But it's what Bregman represents. You got rid of your best hitter to fill that spot in with Bregman, and now he's gone.
Right, I understand
a year later.
that. But that goes back to the Devers trade.
And it has to do with, once again, the Red Sox being close and refusing to go any further because they wouldn't. I don't care what ownership said. Bregman is talking about asking for a no-trade clause, even though the Red Sox are in the ballpark. If the Red Sox had given him a no-trade clause, he probably would be here, based on what he told the media. So that's the thing. The Red Sox are great at coming up just short and then crying like, you know what, we did all we could. That, I think, is the crux of the problem that fans have with them not signing Bregman.
What ticked me off about the Bregman thing is because if you're going to get rid of Devers, and the reason why they were happy to shed that salary, they were happy to shed his attitude, and they did that. But you bring in Bregman, and I give it to both sides of the Bregman party, Bregman himself and the Red Sox, is that all we heard all last year was how great Bregman was for this team, this particular franchise, as a leader, as a teacher of the young players, how to play the game, how to think the game, how to talk the game 24/7. You hear sound bites coming out of Red Sox camp even now. They're saying, well, Bregman, guided me this way, this way, this way. If he's that valuable to your team, your particular team, and what they're preaching, then you find a way to keep him here. I don't care how you do it. You sit in a room with Boris. It goes back, Fred, to what we talked about with the Players Association and the owners. You find a way to get a deal done. And that was the disappointing thing to me because of the fact that they had this guy. They had him here last year. You could have signed him to an extension. You could have done a couple of things to get him to stay here. And then the fact that he was just saying how he was meant for Boston. This is his greatest market. He loves playing here. His family loves it here. His wife loves it here. And now he's in Chicago. Right? Come on. Like, two sides. There's two parties. Get it done and move on. And it would have been a good mix and match for this team.
And the other part of it is, Fred, and I asked Tim Healy this question earlier this week when we had him on. I think the Red Sox aren't about winning. They're about conducting business a certain way. And if winning happens to occur while they're doing it, fine. But they want to make sure they do things their way.
Would you rather have Ranger Suarez or Bregman?
I think for this team at this point, Bregman. And I know what you're saying about Suarez.
No, but
I get it.
But Bregman is about major league average player right now.
But from everything we saw and heard and everything I heard.
So he's good in the clubhouse. Fantastic.
Not just good, but great.
Okay, but you're going to give up a number 2 starter for a guy who's good in the clubhouse and a league average, around a league average player. Like, I don't understand. Like, maybe he's a little bit better than that, but he's not. Your lineup isn't vastly different with Bregman in it. Now, he's better than Contreras, which is, I guess, what the move you made to swap out Bregman.
Basically, yes.
But he's not like a million times better than Contreras. So, and then in his stead, you got a guy that could be a number 1 starter on some teams, and now you got an opening day starter as your third pitcher. You got the third, fourth, fifth best pitcher in baseball as your number 1 starter, and you got maybe top 2, number 2 starters in baseball. I can see like wanting to bring Bregman back, but if it was, or being mad that it's an either or scenario. But regardless, I don't think it's a lock. I don't understand why Bregman all of a sudden makes this team
because I think
1,000 times better.
I think the way that they ended last year with the hope that they gave Red Sox fans after the way they looked, they made the playoffs, they lose to the Yankees, but here we go. I think Red Sox fans were expecting Bregman to come back and Suarez. You know what I mean? I don't think it was an either or for Red Sox fans. And I think in the days of anything we can do to win, Red Sox in 03 are on that doorstep, losing heartbreaking fashion in Game 7. What do? They go out and bring Schilling here, and they bring Keith Folk here, and they give themselves an instant World Series.
Okay.
So
how many teams, though, went nuts this year? And I'm not excusing the Red Sox. I'm just asking you how many teams, because I can think of 2. Literally 2.
Didn't Baltimore have two or three big ones, including Alonso?
Yeah, but I would have to imagine Baltimore's payroll is significantly lower than yours.
Yeah.
So the Cubs and the Dodgers are the 2 teams that went nuts. I mean, the Yankees didn't do a whole lot. It seems like what teams went crazy in free? There's one team that goes crazy in free agency. This is the problem with baseball.
Right. But I don't think Red Sox fans care if it was 1 or 2 other teams. They care that it was their team, that they were right there on the doorstep to have that ability to take that next step to bring in Bregman and to trade for another arm, to bring in Sonny Gray or Suarez or what have you. That was what they were expecting.
See, the thing with me is I just think baseball is so incredibly broken that it does, unless you're the Mets, who didn't even make the playoffs, but unless you're one of these teams with a ridiculous ownership group or a ridiculous owner, you're just all fighting for third place. Or like, the getting into the tournament and then, maybe things breaking right for you. But, I mean, the idea of the Red Sox competing at the level of the Dodgers or the Mets in terms of money that's being spent is never going to happen unless they write baseball. Baseball's a complete mess. So it's like, I mean, good, you have Bregman and Suarez. Okay, great. You're still far. I mean, you're still not even competing money-wise with these other teams.
You have a chance to make the World Series, though, if you bring in Bregman and Suarez.
I mean, you have a chance to make the World Series. Yeah, I guess you have a chance to make the World Series now. I just don't know how much better Bregman makes you. Just enough to bitch about it this much, I think baseball as a whole is in a whole lot more trouble than the Red Sox are. Because you imagine being a fan of any other team.
Right.
It's very hard for me to listen to the bitching about the Red Sox.
Yes.
If you're fans of, 27 different other teams.
I know.
I mean, like, no one else is doing anything. Everyone else is hamstrung. You're not, at least just signed your prospects, and you're not just waiting them to age out of their contracts.
There's a lot
to
be
go
thankful
away.
for, Fred. I'm optimistic. I like this team. And I think that they have a chance to be
everyone likes
very,
this team.
very good.
They're very,
they're 92
Vegas
projected.
loves this team.
With fan graphs and what have you. They'll hit more than we're not supposed to have any guys that hit 20 home runs. They'll hit 20 home runs. There'll be guys
that's
that will
a
hit
huge
20,
marker.
If
you can get 20 home runs, I mean, that's a big
right
deal.
now they're projected, according to Zips or what have you, not to have any 20 home run hitters.
Well, then it's an impossibility. If Zips is saying it, then it's an absolute impossibility. I mean, their shoes are even bad. I can only imagine about the way that they operate their analytics department. I like that. Zips is saying that no one's going to hit 20. Well, then
Capital ZIP, lowercase s.
Contreras will hit over 20 home runs. Him alone will hit over 20.
Hopefully Anthony will, and Abreu, and Story.
Yeah, Story should hit over 20 home runs
last year, right?
Yeah, I don't understand why no one's hitting 20 home runs. Is not a big deal.
I know.
You should get 20 home runs.
I think Contreras had exactly 20 last year.
Yeah, so good. He'll have 20 home runs. Adam, go ahead.
Hi, guys. Morning. Hey, haven't we talked for 20 years that pitching wins championships? And everybody's high on the rotation now with Suarez and Gray, and Bayo's in the right spot at the number 4, and you have options at the number 5. I think the key here is they got to hit, and there still is some questions. Mayer has to stay healthy. Anthony should be fine. They have plenty of trade chips that we've been talking about, and I think they can still make some moves for some guys. The question is, will they?
No, well, that's right. If you're waiting for them to do something at the trade deadline,
they're done.
That I have no faith in.
Yeah, they're done, and this GM, as he proved last year, cannot handle the deadline.
If I'm the Red Sox fan, I'm saving my ire for the Devers trade. They made one of the worst trades I've ever seen. A trade that if it happened at the deadline, people would go, there's collusion. We had national writers on that made the point that if that Devers trade happened at the trade deadline, like when everyone was hyper-focused on trades, that they would have gone, there's collusion. That like something's wrong. You can't dump a kid who might be on a Hall of Fame pace for garbage.
If you remember.
Straight up garbage. And then there were writers like, well, they got him to take the salary. And you're like, whoa. Then that pisses me off. Like, okay, well, you got him to they spent the money on the wrong guy. Okay, well, he's your guy. He's your guy. And then there and every excuse. This is why you should save your anger for the real thing. Is that, well, he gave us an opportunity to play our kids. Remember we would have this conversation? You could have played Roman Anthony with Devers on the team, and you screwed him. You screwed him so many times. You sign a third baseman without telling him, and then he gets pissed, and you go, oh, he's so pissed. Okay, then he goes and he's a DH, and then he's a DH. He accepts it. And then you go, hey, go learn first base. And he goes, what the hell are you doing? Like, what are you doing to me? What's going on over here? Like, am I in any way a priority for you? And then you go, well, he's got an attitude problem, and you ship him off. And then the whole narrative is, look at how they're playing now. Look at how they're playing now. They're so much better without him. It's addition by subtraction. No, it's not. No. What do you think, you're going to win in the playoffs without? You have no.
There was a lot of luck involved there too. They didn't know that Roman Anthony would explode like this. They had no idea. They knew that he was good, but that doesn't necessarily translate immediately. No, Roman Anthony was your best player.
No, they knew Anthony was.
But Anthony, not last year.
Yes, they did.
No.
Outside of here, Roman Anthony is considered like a face of baseball.
Well, the thing is that Roman Anthony, look, regardless of their expectations from Roman Anthony is an electric young player. The problem is the other two kids that you invested in, one of them's got to pan out, at least to be a regular, everyday major league player.
You need Meyer to stay healthy.
If Meyer doesn't pan, because Campbell it doesn't look great, but he's a kid, so who knows? But if both of those don't pan out, then you put your chips in, and then that's when you've invested in these prospects and you've said, wait on, and then these guys don't pop. It sets the organization back. That's what starts setting the organization back in a real sport that's run well. But we'll see, because baseball's in bad shape, and if they don't get some kind of way to even out competitive balance, none of this is all just conversation. Because as great as your starting rotation is, there's a team with. How many Hall of Famers do the Dodgers have on them right now?
Well, Betts, Freeman, Ohtani, right? Those are three. Those are the top three guys in your order.
Yeah, Betts, Freeman, Ohtani.
Kershaw was just there. He's a Hall of Famer.
I got to look at their depth chart because
well, either way, you have three Hall of Famers.
Well, Yamamoto might be one of the top 5 pitchers in baseball. So it's Scooble, Skeens, Crochet, Fried's up there. Yamamoto's got to be one of those guys, right?
Yep. He's a top 10 pitcher.
Yeah, you got Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Ohtani, Betts, Freeman. So whatever. You have all-stars at every position. And Blake Snell's your third starter, and there's some people that think when Blake Snell's on, he could be the best pitcher in baseball. When he's on. Mm-hmm. When he's in one of those 2 months little stretches where he's on. I don't know. I'm so hung up on the Dodgers. It's driving me crazy. And now they have, you add Kyle Tucker to that and everything else. They have an all-star at like every position. And even little Tommy Edmonds been an all-star before. So don't worry about him. He'll play anywhere for you.
Even Glass down there, fourth starter. That guy was great for Tampa.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports. the Sports Zone.
All right, we're Toucher and Hardy. Danny Roach is in here. We were talking about the Red Sox. Jeff, go ahead.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. How you guys doing? So you're absolutely right, Fred, about the whole Devers trade. Gave him away for a bag of Cracker Jacks, but we can't forget that they did not re-sign Mookie. They did not re-sign Bogarts because of Devers. And then what did we get out of it? We didn't get nothing out of it. So I don't understand what these people are doing. I mean, can you general manage your team, Freddie? Thank you.
I couldn't do anything with the current structure of baseball. If I had the Dodgers, I could. I would just sign everyone. I'm sorry, I have the wrong mic up.
Hello?
Yeah, you're there.
Oh, thanks.
I'd just sign everyone if I was the Dodgers. You have to understand, I'm more of a meta problem with baseball right now than individual teams. It's gotten way out of hand.
Well, part of the problem the Red Sox have had under John Henry is he just changes his mind so frequently about whether or not to sign players to long-term contracts.
I think he changed his mind once, and it's been that way for about 5 or 6 years.
Lately it has been, yes.
Well, no, last 5 or 6 years. Since Chaim Bloom took over, there was a clear sea change. We're not signing anybody. They basically ignored the Major League roster for 5 years while talking big. That's the thing that upsets me.
But not re-signing Bogarts was smart in retrospect.
Yes.
Yes, he went right in the tank when he went to San Diego. That's very true.
And the huge problem, other than getting rid of Betts, was the return you got for Betts, which was terrible.
And by the way, and let's not rewrite history, Fred. You and I sat here after they made the Betts trade, and based on where we saw the payroll going, if you had re-signed Betts, they wouldn't have signed anybody else, and Betts would have turned into Mike Trout, a team that was Hall of Fame good, but played on teams that never made the playoffs because they wouldn't spend any money to go get him any help. So at the time, I understood it. The return for the trade, abysmal.
Yes.
One of the worst trades of the last 50 years for this team.
But then they did the Crochet trade.
Yes.
And then that
well,
made up for
that's the thing. They ignored the Major League roster, built up the farm system, and from then on, we saw what the plan was. Get enough prospects at your disposal where you could trade for younger talent that you could re-sign on your own terms instead of going to free agency.
They've signed guys, though.
But my point is they'll spend money
Story.
on their terms, not market terms for the most part.
Yeah, and there's just right now market terms have gotten so absolutely ridiculous that it's you could have this conversation in 30 other major league markets.
The problem is
now.
you can't let them get to free agency. That's the problem, right? You can't let them get out into the open market.
Right.
You got to get them before then. And I don't know if Boris would have allowed Bregman to sign, but that's what I would have done. I would have gone to him at the All-Star break, even when he was hurt.
We'll see what kind of year Bregman has. We'll see. That remains to be seen. We'll see how big a loss that was. But people losing their mind. We can pivot here for a moment. How much do you keep an eye on college basketball there, Danny?
I've been keeping an eye, a decent amount. Not like I've been so football all the time, but AJ DeBonza, I've been keeping an eye on him at BYU.
Yeah. And Doug Gottlieb, you've been paying attention to Wisconsin, Green
now,
Bay.
Right?
Yeah, the pressure cooker that's University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. He's in a real pressure cooker. Doug Gottlieb is insane. You realize he's a bad person.
Angry all the time.
Here he is from last night, facing the media, having to face down the media, the Green Bay media. I mean, not easy. You've just finished whatever loser conference you're in game. And now you got to sit in front of the media.
What conference is that? Go ahead, continue. I'm just curious.
It's a conference that gets a team in the tournament. And that team, if they win a game, is a huge Cinderella story. The team that will be playing Arizona comes out of that conference. So here we are playing Michigan. Here we go. Here is Doug Gottlieb after the pressure cooker, University of Wisconsin, Green Bay against I can only imagine whom. And here is what happened.
All we ask is that there's a fair game. That's what we ask. Okay, C.J. O'Hara goes and gets an offensive rebound.
Now, C.J. O'Hara has had a target on his back all season long. You have to be fair. Mm-hmm. You have to be fair. He has had a target on his back the whole season.
All we ask is that there's a fair game. That's what we ask. Okay, C.J. O'Hara goes and gets an offensive rebound. their player dives at his legs, CJ gets called for a foul. I need Donnie at the league and the new commissioner to explain to me the disparity in the officiating. So I need the new commissioner of the Horizon League to explain to me what a technical foul is when I don't leave the box, I don't curse, I'm not demonstrative. Okay? There was nothing that should have been called a technical foul. I know when I earned one. I did not earn one. I need somebody to explain to me how, just those two. There's others that I have massive issues with, okay? Others that I have massive, including every time we touched them, there was a foul in the second half. The last play of the game, just to get the ball, they're grabbing us and holding us. Okay, and I understand. If you're not calling that, that's fine. You had the exact same play at both ends in the last play of the game. The exact same play.
Yeah, and then he started banging the table, so you could see he wasn't demonstrative. By the way, they faced Milwaukee yesterday in a huge matchup. And by the way, there's a real basketball school in Milwaukee, and it is not Milwaukee.
Yes.
So, I mean, you can only imagine if you lose a 3-point nail biter to Milwaukee that you have to, and then you're saying that I was not demonstrative, and then you start banging the desk, having a fit. If you're a real, I mean, Bobby Hurley, okay.
Right. UConn.
Danny Hurley, rather. Danny Hurley. All right, you're a lunatic, but at least you're a lunatic winning national championships. You're
in the last play of the game. The exact same play.
That's right.
They're 15-13.
Yeah. Horizon League, Fred.
10-7 in the
Horizon League.
Well, they have to play Detroit Mercy coming up on Sunday.
Yes.
And I can just tell you.
We have
Dick
Oakland.
Vitale coached it. Well, Oakland sometimes wins some tournament games. Because they have like 40-year-old guys on the
Youngstown
team.
State, Northern Kentucky, Purdue Fort Wayne. These are the teams.
Well, they beat Detroit Mercy by 13, and Dick Vitale coached there in the 70s. So you got to like that. So I have not heard this. I do know Michigan State because there's no bet to be made at halftime because they were up like 17. But they killed UCLA yesterday. Here is the UCLA head coach.
What was your thoughts in the student section chanting Booker's name?
I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section.
I just meant overall the way that you
I would like to give you a kudos for the worst question I've ever been asked.
Did you like
You should take it.
the preparation of
You really think I care about the other team's
No, I don't
student section?
think you care about the other
Are you
team.
raising your voice at me?
No, I'm just
Yeah, you are.
Are you raising your voice at me? No, old man. Don't hit me. Are you raising your voice at me? Yeah, I'm raising. Go look at the UCLA head coach and tell me the intimidation factor standing in front of him.
Yeah. He's 54, Mick Cronin. Yeah.
Now listen, you can still kick ass in your 50s. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But Nick Cronin is not speaking to me like the mountain of a man.
Come on, dude.
No reason.
Come on. Yes, you were. Everybody's standing here listening to you. Everybody. This is on camera. They can hear you.
Yeah, this is on camera. I got you, buddy. Everyone heard you. That's a sign of a very secure man when he says everyone heard you.
Come on. Yes, you were. Everybody's standing here listening to you. Everybody. This is on camera. They can hear you. I answered the question. I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section. I coach UCLA. I don't care about Michigan State students. I mean, who cares?
All right. There you go.
He ejected his own player in that game.
Yes.
During the loss.
His own player, he comes up to his nipples, Nick Cronin. It's like if Tom Izzo, you yelling at me. All right, Tommy. Knock it off.
Right.
Let's not pretend that you're doing something here. There was this thing with Belichick is he would like strong-eye people and like act like he was going to kick their ass. And you're like, what are you going to do? What are you doing up there? You lost your mind.
Why are you so angry?
No, but just this like intimidation thing. Like, get out of here with that nonsense. You shouldn't have to put up with that if you're a reporter. You know what I'm saying, Danny? You put up with it. You submit. You get on your back. You show your belly. I understand. But has there ever been a time, we have to break, but has there ever been a time in your career where not a player who could like physically destroy you, even though McDonough did swing at kids, but was there ever a time that you, like, a coach was like yelling at you and you were like, oh, knock it off. Like, stop this nonsense. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. It would drive me insane.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, no, not to that extent.
Like, like that was a dumb question. Fine.
Right.
Okay, that's fine.
I've had that happen with Tito. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you guys had a really good relationship,
Yes.
and he would like bust your ball. The freedom to like mock someone is different than like, were you raising your voice at me? Like, that's the Patricia thing. Like, sit up when you talk to me. Like, don't talk to me like that. Like, we're both grown men. Don't talk to me like a child because you're the coach and I'm the reporter. That stuff drives me crazy. I don't like that. All right, Chris Forsberg drives me crazy with that dumb hair. But he's in Myrtle Beach. We'll figure out how he got down there. Someone has to tell him. You're not a good friend if you're not telling him.
Chris, fix your hair.
We got to. He's got a real whole mohawk thing happening. It goes down the back now.
He likes it. It's a style.
Well,
he gets initials buzzed into the side of his head.
If I had a haircut like that, I'd want you to tell me as a friend that it was not good. All right, listen, we have to break.
It's like Jimmy Neutron.
All right, we have to break.
Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The NFL offseason is in full swing. Patriots took care of some coaching business yesterday. Linebackers coach Zach Core, who called defensive plays all season, has been officially named defensive coordinator. He takes over for Terrell Williams, who was given a higher ranking role on the coaching staff following a season-long battle with cancer. Celtics are back from the All-Star break tomorrow night on the road against the Golden State Warriors. Jayson Tatum told ESPN yesterday that despite all the noise around him, he still has not made a decision whether or not to return from his torn Achilles. In Olympic hockey news, today's quarterfinal day for the men. The first game up is now in the third period. Slovakia leads Germany 5-1. The U.S. and Sweden will play their quarterfinal game at 3:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Charlie McAvoy skating without the protective cage on his face at the U.S. practice yesterday. And the head of the Major League Baseball Players Union, Tony Clark, stepped down yesterday, reportedly over an improper relationship with his sister-in-law. The Players Executive Committee did not name a successor yesterday, but plan on meeting again this morning. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by East Coast Metal Roofing. Never, ever replace your roof again. It's East Coast Metal Roofing's New Year's savings event where Sports Hub listeners get 10% off their new roof that's guaranteed to last a lifetime. Call 844-611-ECMR or eastcoastmetalroofing.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Attack for MP3. Violent two-hand slam. Wow.
98.5 Sports Hub.
IYKYK, which obviously YD. Okay?
Toucher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
Coming in, and that he was going to bed, and it was like, well, no.
Yeah, you can't be 50-50, right? You got to make. I was told that you have to make a decision. There's like a cutoff time.
Yes, there has to be a decision made, and so I made the decision for him. But then, but Dan wasn't getting back to us, so we were in a great.
I was charging my phone in the other room. I got back as soon as I was getting ready to hit the sack, and Adam.
Well, Adam usually
me.
gets back to me like within 2 seconds, but Adam didn't get back to me for like a half an hour.
I was on a call.
I thought he was dead. It was 8:00 at night. No,
Very demanding.
I wasn't. No. I did not. That is unfair. I did not. I wasn't being demanding. I just was reaching out to a bunch of people, and no one was getting back to me. You were the only person I reached out to, but then when you didn't get back to me, Adam started scrambling and asking people, and no one wants to fill in.
No.
Because they know it's a pressure cooker.
Because it's 50-50 whether you wake up just to begin with.
Well, no, and also when you come in here, you're going to be put on the spot.
What you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
How
you've
you
never talked to this
humiliate
big an audience before. I mean,
Yes.
there's a great deal of pressure.
Right.
You fail in front of this audience. There's no coming back.
Well, I've done it before.
Danny, no, because that's why you're still here. You're on very shaky ground, but you haven't fallen through the ice yet. Chris, I understand
Chris.
you were in Myrtle Beach.
I am.
And to
My
what
second home.
And I am not looking at it, but John tells me that he's seen you and that you were in a beatific setting by a pool and that you were enjoying the outdoors.
I am. I only have a few limited hours left down here, and I mostly wanted to get John's family in here. You can hear them chirping in the background, and it's delightful to bring a little bit. I hear we're getting weather back there today. Am I flying home to snow?
You were not much, but I'll tell you, if one of these birds flies into the screen when John is on it, come here, join me. They will smash against that screen, and then you will be responsible for the death of a dang bird. All right. I'll tell you this, Chris.
How's the weather?
How'd you get down there?
Oh, well, you would know. It's Breeze Airlines. I live like equidistant from 3 different airports because my beloved Worcester Airport does not have any real service. They need more airlines and more
I mean that's a
destinations.
big problem in Worcester. They really need to get that airport up.
Please.
I mean, the public has been clamoring. Can Worcester get more direct flights
Big
to Myrtle
airline,
Beach?
you know, you can never figure it out.
Well, listen, everyone knew Worcester had an airport, of course. We all were aware of that.
You went to Manchester. You went to Manchester, New Hampshire, didn't you?
I did not. I went to Bradley out of Connecticut, and
what the hell is that?
That's Hartford.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Hartford.
Okay, because
Yeah,
I've flown out of Providence. Now Providence does have flights.
Yes.
CF Green.
Yeah.
They do. So you can get Breeze out of both Hartford and Providence. You can get Spirit out of Boston and Providence. So when I'm crunching the numbers, when I'm checking what's most beneficial, every airport is like an hour from my house until Worcester gets on the level. And so, you got to make some decisions. So, yeah, I got to fly back to Hartford. I don't know if the weather's going to be worse than Hartford or whatever, but yeah, we get another layer.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, don't worry. Breeze will land in anything, I would imagine.
Exactly. Look, these flights are not actually, like, you joke about it, but like part of the reason these airlines are so successful is they can't cancel, right?
Yeah, no FAA rules. They don't have to play that game.
Spirit has I was on the Instagram.
Right, they can't cancel flights. Like when airports close, Breeze is no.
They literally fly under the radar.
Yeah, they're like, there's a hurricane. Why are you flying into Fort Lauderdale? This is Breeze Airlines. We don't cancel flights.
Well, some airlines,
the landing gear's not working. Shush. This is Breeze Airlines. Yeah, you'll just put some foam on the runway.
Slide off the water onto the runway.
Right. Mechanical issues. Mechanical schmissues is the big tagline for them. All right. So Breeze does not cancel flights. That's why they're so successful, correct?
Both them and Spirit. Like again, like you can't. They cannot, as low budget airlines, they cannot afford to not get to their destination. So they do everything possible to be on time and keep that schedule moving. I feel like
I would bet you that Spirit Airlines has one of the worst on-time ratings of any airline. Johnny, look it up. On-time.
I would disagree.
I bet you it's certainly in the bottom 5.
I would say, and I am saying this, as we had a bit of a delay on the way down, but I would say 95% of my flights with Spirit and Breeze do not incur a delay. Whereas when I fly Delta or American, I feel like I am perpetually delayed.
Do you do the no flex fare or the nice or the nicer or the nicest?
I do the no flex, the base fare, economical as possible. I had a middle seat on the way down. I'm a man of the people, Rochi, so like it doesn't bother me. Like
good for you.
It's an hour and 40 in the air. Like if I was going to California or something, yeah, I'd probably splurge to get an aisle seat. But no, my wife and family had their own little row, and Dad was sitting next to two people.
So it's extra for an aisle seat.
Well, so here's the thing. It's a bit of a dice roll. When you check in, you can do if you're a dice roller like I am, you can say, I'm not going to pay any money for this seat, and you're going to put me wherever. And then if you get, if you crap out and you get a middle seat, if you can then spend the $15, $20 or whatever and upgrade to your aisle, you can spend the $27 and get a window seat.
It's more for the window seat.
There's more for exit row. They're back in the day, Spirit had what was called the big front seat, and it was literally just like oversized recliner, as if they had retrofitted it into the front of the plane. And yeah, you'd have to pay like $30 to get that back in the day.
Yeah,
but
so it's like for the 1%.
Exactly, the
right.
kings of Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, you're on that. You're basically getting laid because it's a big power move. I'm in the recliner.
Yeah,
I had $30.
When their loyalty program is the Spirit Saver Club, but sometimes you just got to be a Spirit Splurge. Club.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
so what do you have, John?
Apparently, Spirit, according to what I'm looking at here, is second to last.
Okay.
Frontier Airlines.
Whoa.
Frontier Airlines is last, and United apparently is third to last.
Well,
Weird.
Frontier Airlines has one direct flight to Knoxville a week, and from Boston. And my parents were like, you can get a nonstop flight because flying into Knoxville is not easy. Your connections are not. Everything has to run exactly right. The connections are always full. They're small planes. They're hard to get on. Like if you miss it, you're not getting on another one anytime soon. So I go, all right, I'm incentivized. It's a 6 o'clock. At least it was a 6 o'clock in the morning flight. And you go to the Frontier Airlines page, and it looks like when you used to click on something to see the Paris Hilton porn. It's just like a million things pop up on the screen. It looks like a GeoCity site.
Yeah,
and it's
100%.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm not flying. You couldn't even get it together to have a real website. I can't do this. And you're right. Everything is extra. And so even just psychologically, it seems like you're getting ripped off. Even though it's probably way less. Psychologically, they're like, it costs to check a bag. Not check a bag. It costs to bring a carry-on on. It costs if you want an aisle seat. It costs if you don't want to be in storage. It costs everything costs. It costs if you want to walk down the actual jetway that there's a tax to get to do that. A lot of it doesn't make a lot of sense. A lot of pain in the ass, I'd say.
Did you ever do I believe Frontier has the Go Wild promotion?
Oh.
No, I'm too staid. I'm too mellow for that. I can't go wild.
This was like, so if you were willing to book, if I think 24 hours out, if there was any space remaining on the plane, you could book for just the like taxes. So like you pay, it's some nominal fee, let's say $100 a year. And then you would pay $5 in taxes, but you could get 24 hours out, you could get flights anywhere. So like for people that had some flexibility in their travel, it was amazing. It's pretty much a get on any plane and go fee. Now if planes book up heavier times of the year, you're kind of screwed. But if you were just like, hey, for me, if I had a day off and I just wanted to get down to Myrtle, see mom, like it would be amazing if they did it. But Frontier shut down my Myrtle route, so now it's Spirit and Breeze for life.
There's a famous video going on of an airline president in the UK on a budget airline talking to whatever their version of the FAA is, and they're like, you wanted standing room seats in your airplane. And he's like, yes. I wanted and he was giving the reasons for it.
Right.
He wanted to take out rows of the airplane and shove more people in, and they would be standing during the flight, which seems wildly unsafe. But he was asking for that. Would you stand on a flight?
Would I probably like on a short flight? I would be willing to consider it. You stand on a bus, right?
Right.
Like,
what's the cutoff?
Yeah.
How long is the flight before you demand to sit down?
Yeah, I would say anything over 2 hours starts to get a little dicey. But for the right frugal price, I would consider it for all destinations. You know, we'd probably get like a seatbelt or something in case you hit some turbulence or whatnot. Like for me, the one thing I don't.
How would there be a seatbelt though? Is my only
There'd
question.
be a bus. There'd be like a bus thing where
I think there would be. I think there would be a
strap
handle.
you to the wall or something. I don't know. Yeah. How do you do that?
Well, quite often they would make you strapped to the wall then because they make you. I mean, what 50% of your flights they say you got to keep your seatbelt on for the entirety of the flight.
Yeah.
So if they're doing that, then you'd be pretty much strapped to the wall.
My whole thing is like, what are you looking for? If my whole thing is getting from point A to point B. Like I don't. It's a minor inconvenience. Travel in general is like an inconvenience, but it's all what you make of it. And for the people that, need the aisle seat or the window or like they need the extra comfort room, like you want to waste your money on that, feel
just
free.
Described me, Chris, to a T. That's me.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So you can get down on me.
Come on.
I got it. But as you get older, those are the little things that matter.
If I had Rochi money, I'd probably do it too.
Oh,
but
seriously?
Yeah, if you worked for like a big time affiliate and not some basic cable.
Whoa, I did not say that.
Well, no, he's on a big network affiliate with real network programming.
I'm under a salary cap, which Fred wants for baseball. And guess who takes the most chunk out of that sports department salary cap? It ain't me.
Yeah. I'm well aware of who that is.
Throwing teammates under the bus.
The guy who shows up at the last minute.
He's very angry at Steve Bowden.
Has been for years.
No,
yeah.
I'm not.
He is.
Fred, were you making fun of my hair?
Yeah.
What was up?
100%.
What's up with it? Why?
I think someone needs a friend needs to tell you that your hair is ridiculous.
What don't you like about it right now?
What's going on in the back? You've gone to almost a Mr. T, like a quasi Mr. T.
Well, it's very southern. Down here, I'd like blend in with everybody. It's actually not very different because everyone has the little mullet tail, and I might need to bring back the mustache. But
if you had a mustache, you might get away with it. Then you could work for McAfee.
Well, so maybe I'll bring it back. Maybe that second half of the season, I bring that back. But I just don't take it very seriously. I don't have many.
Do. You 100% do. Your hair?
I
think your hair is more of a point of pride for you than it is to anyone else in my vision right now.
Well, I mean, no offense to Rochi and Wallach, but the options.
Thank you for not including me in that.
Well, you're not in your own line of sight.
I am nothing if not a rabid groomer.
You all wear hats so often.
Well, you have to. You have to on TV. I don't wear a hat this much in my regular life. But once you've committed to it in the morning, you're kind of wearing it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But if I go out, I don't wear a hat. Like for real at night, not with friends.
I don't have a lot going for me, Fred. So the hair is what I got to lean on.
Oh, you got a good body, Chris. You got everything going for you.
That is nice of you.
Yeah,
But
you're a good looking guy. Don't let anyone tell you different.
But you need to. I just, in general, I say this all the time. Like, you got to switch it up a little bit. You got to keep people guessing. So if I can grow like a mullet and people turn on their TV and they're like, "What is going on there? Like, what is he thinking?" And like last year with the mustache, people are like, "You know how awful you look," and I'm like, "Yes, I know how awful I look." You just got to have fun with it. And,
yeah, you could just go glam. You could start dressing like the New York Dolls. You could wear fishnet stockings and really get people going. You know what I'm saying?
I'm open to all ideas.
Listen, it's all about shock value. You know, come out there with like a whole leatherette. You know, just do the whole thing.
I mean, you guys are on YouTube now. You got to start thinking about presentation.
Nah.
Well, I mean, you can't even see my face on YouTube from every
really.
video I've seen. The camera's positioned so that the microphone is blocking my face, which I have no problem with.
I think we need to work on that.
No, it's fine. All right, look, I swear we'll talk about the Celtics, but
Okay.
I do appreciate you getting to us from Myrtle Beach, where you leave today, you're saying.
I am. Tonight, 9:15 p.m.
Have you gone to any of the local shows?
Let's see. What have we done? We've done. I mean, we're suckers for the same. We've done Top Golf. Have you done a Pop Stroke before?
Just not since the 90s when I needed the money.
Can't say that
The
on the radio, Chris.
Tiger Woods mini golf. It's just like an elevated mini golf experience. I will not pay to elevate my flight experience, but my mini golf experience, I need top tier.
Okay.
My wife did that last week down in Orlando.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Said it was awesome.
Yep.
Well, he's got it in the centers of industry, Orlando and Myrtle Beach. He knows where the money is.
Touristy.
All right. I lived in Orlando for 4 years. All right. Listen, Chris Forsberg, we will be back in just a moment to talk about the Celtics.
Toucher and Hardy.
us in for Hardy today, who is sick. Chris Forsberg is in Myrtle Beach, where he flew Breeze Airways down there in a fit of economy. Now, Chris, everything's getting back underway on Thursday. Did you enjoy the All-Star Game experience?
So I was delightfully wrong because I didn't know if the mini games would be better. I did not watch a lot of it, but what I did see was guys trying, and that's all that you can ask for. And I don't know if I want the USA versus the world, but maybe they can find some sweet spot of just motivating these guys to want to be out there and to play hard. And from what I saw, Wemby set a tone of like this matters, and that's really good. And Jaylen had his moments, so hopefully we can find a way to get more eyeballs back on it. Like Fred, you probably feel the same way, right? When we were kids, the dunk contest mattered, the 3-point contest mattered, the All-Star Game was enjoyable. They got to find a way to tap back into that. And I guess they got to fix All-Star Saturday night now and make that an event again, because I guess I did not see the slam dunk contest, but
you didn't miss anything.
Well, the dunk contest is never going to be a big deal again, and I can tell you why. Because kids can dunk now. When we were kids, no one dunked. If you were in a game and someone dunked, you were playing Super Friends or something in AAU where the whole team could dunk and they were all going to D1 colleges and going to play pros and go to the Hall of Fame. If you played a league game, kids weren't dunking. Now there's 6 kids on every high school team that can dunk. 6, 7 kids. I didn't even mean to do that, but that can that can dunk. So I just don't think it's a big deal anymore. You go to the Y and there's guys that are 5'10" that are dunking. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
the Spud Webb thing is gone.
Right.
The whole notion of this. I mean,
even Matt McClung, I saw a special on him the other day that features on him dunking.
Yeah, they needed a white kid from the G League to come in and do anything. And
he won 3 in a row. That's where this is.
I mean, my son played basketball for a small school his freshman year, and there was a kid on the team that could 360 dunk, and it was a small school in a nothing conference, and this kid could 360 dunk. He was an unbelievable athlete. It's just, I don't think it's that big a deal anymore. It's all been done. And teams shoot, every game's a 3-point contest now. And there's no novelty to that anymore.
If nothing else, they need to get back to making it the marquee players, right? I don't know if it would change it. You might be right. We might be out of dunks. Maybe we need to start thinking about how to alter that and to make that a better, there's only so many 360s, foul line takeoffs, all the stuff that moved us back then. But I need a 3-point contest that has Steph and all the elite 3-point shooters out there and brings back the motivation. I need Larry Bird showing up and telling everyone who's playing for second place. And I don't know, they've got to tap into that and figure that out, because that was, to me, that transcended the game, and it made it okay if the game was just whatever, because it was just,
it made Jordan. It's what cemented Jordan. I mean, Jordan, when I was a kid, at least in my mind, was bigger for the dunk contest almost than what anything he certainly did in the regular season. I mean, that iconic dunk contest
first 3 or 4 years of Jordan.
Well, the one he did, the one that Dominique should have won, that he won. Right. But I taped those as a kid, and I watched them a million times. They were unbelievable. But I mean, yeah. So it was a huge deal. I just don't think that will ever happen again, because those dunks that Jordan did would be literally nothing now.
And the other part of the problem was Jordan was the perfect height for this thing. A 6'7", 6'8" guy that could jump out of the building. Who's the big young star in the NBA right now?
But what are you going to do? They've already jumped over cars. They jumped over guys.
No, my point is it's Wembanyama. I mean, he can't be part of the dunk contest. That was my point.
Wembanyama's size is a problem for the league, because you can't have your star player be a freaky tall. Because you are right that just doesn't.
There's no signature event that Wembanyama can take part in.
Kareem's, obviously a incredible all-time great, but it wasn't he was the guy that you turned on the TV to watch. I mean, Kareem, the skyhook was undefendable, but it wasn't fun to watch.
But the bigger point is, and Chris led with this, the only thing that fans like me wanted to see was the NBA players trying. And that's where we are. The bar is so low. You just want the NBA players trying on Sunday.
You need Tom Chambers to come in and win the MVP.
Right.
Tommy Chambers, you'd never heard of him, but he won that All-Star MVP.
That's right.
I had that on tape, too. For some reason, I saw that All-Star game 100 times.
Yeah, Tom Chambers.
And I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, but he's certainly the best guy on the court tonight.
All right, I want to ask, because we brought it up earlier, Jayson Tatum. The latest thing is he spoke to ESPN's Ramona Shelburne yesterday. Chris, I don't know if you saw this. And he made a point to her that he still hasn't decided whether or not he's coming back, despite all the trailers promoting his documentary, despite the flexing to prime time of that March 1st game. Where do you stand on all of this?
Yeah, like I haven't wavered. I think all signs have pointed to him coming back, and I get it. Like he probably hit a little bit of a mental hurdle. Probably, a month ago, whenever he first brought it up about, just questioning can he be himself and not wanting to rock the boat. And I go back to it. I think that was showed a good amount of self-awareness. But certainly I think when it's from the workouts to the little documentary now, I think it's all building towards the same thing. And that's him being back on the court. And let's just face it, you're not going to sit here and spoil the end of what's going to happen. There wants to be a little bit of suspense to it.
Isn't that annoying? Isn't that it's just by its nature annoying? You have to admit that.
Yeah, I want to say annoying. I think we all know where this is going.
But for what? Who cares? Do you think anyone outside of this city gives a rat's ass that Jayson Tatum's coming back? Honestly, it's an event worthy of a documentary?
It's a great question. I do think there's interest in again, some of the more so the physical part of it. People have figured out okay, this isn't what it used to be. You can work your way back in 8-9 months. But the idea Tatum, the one thing that Tatum has shifted that I didn't really put a lot of stock into when as he was navigating this was his desire to be Jayson Tatum when he gets back out there, and the fight to show that you didn't lose anything, and the wrestling with the internal what if he's not, can some guys can come back and be 70% of themselves and just would be happy to be out there. Tatum seemingly doesn't want that. He wants to make sure he's at 100%. So I do appreciate the glimpse into the mindset and the journey and the way really that he's embraced it. I mean, I think he had the tweet yesterday where he said 40 weeks and learning to appreciate it, when I'm sure it wasn't easy at the start. But yeah, at this point I'm just the mystery behind when it's going to happen and sort of the build up. I'm probably at the point where I'm ready to just kick this into. Just tell us when you're ready. Let's and turn this thing up. But again, I will relent. From what we've talked a lot about if he wants to do it at home and how he wants to do it, and some of that is when you put in all the effort to get to where you're in the position to return, you can dictate some of that. And so it will be a moment when it happens. And then the best part is after that first game back, now it's just all right. Now where does it go from here? And are the Celtics legitimate title contenders? And that's the more important part to me.
Do you know what this documentary is? Threat Level Midnight. The Michael Scott movie in The Office. That he spent all this time making a dumb movie that ultimately no one cared about. This is a Michael Scott move. Ta-da! And then everyone's what? Yeah. Who cares?
Don't you want to see some behind the scenes?
No. I can't tell you how little I care. Chris, I could turn on one streaming service, any of them, and watch 500 documentaries about sports. In fact, the 1980 U.S. hockey one's actually very, very good. Mm-hmm. But no, I don't need to see a current player, a propaganda film about how wonderful they are. No.
I'd like to see it.
Of course you would.
I do like the
you got nothing. You got nothing
behind the curtain
with that dog of yours.
Well, I
stuck home.
I just saw Kobe Bryant's Muse a couple of years ago. Isn't this the same thing?
No, Kobe Bryant's dead. This is an incredibly famous individual playing for. It's completely different, and I don't want to see that either. Maybe I'm the wrong audience.
That wasn't bad, the Kobe Bryant.
I'm sure it wasn't because, I mean, he's a fascinating guy, and there's a lot of ups and downs, and it spans a life, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
No. Well, yes, it does.
Okay,
in
so
retrospect, yes.
so it's not about this moment of time in Kobe Bryant's life that's just coming back from an injury.
Yep, that's true.
In real time. No, I don't. Does anyone? You do, Dan.
Yeah, it's curious to watch.
It's something that you would seek out. Do you think if you were not in the market that you would seek it out?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Okay, probably not, Fred. I wouldn't.
Say this was about Jalen Brunson. Would you watch it?
No.
Okay. Touche.
But I do think if you are
Well, I've been put back in your place.
Touche.
I won.
And you are curious about Jayson Tatum, like I think look, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be intrigued by it.
Of course, you have to.
But I don't think it's also going to be. It's not going to be
also
like
on your network.
It's not going to be a 9-part. Well, yeah, that's fair too. It's not like a 9-part, hour. Like these are going to be short glimpses into the rehab process, and from a storytelling.
Are they on TV or are they on streaming or are they on social media? What is it?
And I'm on vacation. You got to ask.
Okay, because if you're telling me to watch a 30-second clip, I can do that.
There'll be more than that.
Like, I mean, the part 1 was a minute and a half, right? Like I thought it was a trailer. I think it's actually the first.
Oh,
I
mean, okay. Still, it's just no. I mean, okay. I don't even know what he's doing. I stand by my. It's his threat level midnight.
We'll see. We'll revisit. We'll get through like episode 2 or 3. I know some of the people that are behind it, and I think they're very talented people, and I'm eager to see how they frame this and tell a story. But yeah, like again, like hovering over it all is just. For me, like I want to see Jayson Tatum back on the basketball court, and I want to see where it goes. I want to see where it takes a team that is already, in most people's mind, overachieved, and eager to see where it goes.
Yeah, that's the question. How good can they be when he comes back?
Well, and then that's another part of it is that we asked Cedric Maxwell about this, in the whole like I want to come back on my birthday, I want to come back in front of the home crowd, and Cedric was like, if it was him, he'd want to go like on the road in Charlotte. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the mentally, physically, everything that's required of this comeback, the best thing you could do was have it be in a non-consequential game on the road.
And it might end up being that's what happened.
Which would I would give him a ton of credit if he did that after this whole pomp and circumstance surrounding it. Because, I mean, it just seems ridiculous. Like, you're not planning this comeback based on anything tangible. It's just based on like a vibe, it's kind of it just seems misguided.
I think it's something that he said when you're 9 months out and you're thinking like what would be the most exciting way to come back and to hear the crowd roar and to celebrate that moment. I don't know if that's what will end up happening. I think it will, but like I've reserved the right that if he changes his mind, if he's like, hey, it all comes down to once he's 100% and once he is over all the mental stuff, and I assume he has cleared all the physical hurdles at this point, if it happens to be a game on the road and on this road trip and he just wants to go, like, I don't think anyone's going to, like you said, begrudge it. Like, yeah, just get out there. Whenever you feel you're ready, man, just go do this. And, you'll still, like, it's still going to be a moment when he comes back to Boston that first time he plays here. So
he could win a title, Chris. I mean, he could win another title. That's not out of the question. That's the celebration. You know what I'm saying? They're good.
In the grander scheme, beyond the little glimpse into this recovery, that's the documentary you want to watch, is like, how do you come back? How do you get back to being Jayson Tatum? And how do you win another title when, not a lot of people thought this team even had a chance, especially this season? That would be the remarkable story and the one that people outside the market would want to watch if the Celtics are ultimately able to accomplish that. Now that's there's a lot to happen to make that a reality, but the fact that they've turned the corner as quickly as they have, that there's this hovering over it all and the potential to even go to another level is really fun. Like again, the NBA season is so long, it's a grind, but I'm coming back reinvigorated. Like, this is going to be fun.
Well, that's Myrtle Beach. That's not the NBA.
Yeah, that is true too.
That's just you being at the beach, hanging out, going to Topgolf.
Get a little that sand in your hair and off you go.
But don't get too much sand in your hair, buddy. We need to keep it right as is. All right.
I don't know. The beach is what does it. It's just it's the southern food and the salty air. I don't know. Like it just takes the hair to another level.
Little lemon juice in there, get it light.
Ooh.
Did you have any favorite Southern restaurants when you were living down here? Because I'm about to go to Bojangles. It's my favorite spot.
We didn't. I lived in Atlanta. We didn't have Bojangles as of
You
yet.
did? Like, I think Bojangles is based in Atlanta. No,
Was
that's
it
North
around
Carolina.
in the early aughts?
I think so. Like, I used to go to. We were big games in Atlanta, and they didn't have any downtown. I'd have to go to. I'm gonna get this wrong. Is Decatur far from?
Not
From
super
Atlanta?
far. No.
Okay, maybe that's where I was driving to. But yeah,
I think I would have known about Bojangles. I don't doubt that it was there, but it certainly wasn't as prolific as it is now. Maybe it was a Bojangles, and then it all
Could
erupted
be.
from there.
Could be. It's slowly creeping.
I've had
north.
Bojangles. They have it in by my parents' house. I have had Bojangles.
Are you a Bojangles enjoyer?
Sure. You know, it's not
That
life
was-
changing.
That wasn't very convincing.
Yeah.
It's not life changing.
Do you have a favorite Southern food chain? Zaxby's.
They have a Zaxby's by my parents' house, all on that road. They have everything.
I drove to Nashville from my home with my son, 17 and a half hours, and he insisted we stop at a Zaxby's. And I was like, what is it? Oh, it's where do you have it? It's like, oh.
Yeah.
It was like nothing. It was like greasy chicken fingers.
I don't know. All right. I guess I don't have one. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I don't.
Have you been to a Buc-ee's?
I have been to a Buc-ee's.
yeah.
My parents live in East Tennessee, dude. All this crap is within
that's
a
all you
stone's
got.
throw of them. All right.
I know.
All right.
Well, all right, you kick me off. I'm just going to ramble.
Yeah, we got to go. All right, Chris, look forward to having you back next week. Safe travels, and you'll need
Hey,
that.
y'all.
We'll all pray
See ya.
for you.
Bye, Chris.
I
All right,
appreciate
thank you,
See
Chris.
ya.
There you go. The great Chris Forsberg.
By
We'll
the
be
way,
right back.
somebody texted me.
Okay, we'll find out after the break. Hear that?
Wait.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots made some news yesterday, promoting linebackers coach Zach Core to defensive coordinator. He did the job all of this past season after Terrell Williams was diagnosed.
Hardy?
Well, you're going to have to spend $40.
Cough it up, and let's get back to Toucher and Hardy on the
Collins, Jim Bowden. Who else went there? And I went Marcy Darcy from Married with Children, and Mr. Rogers went to Raleigh. And then John says, "Oh, Shooter McGavin went to my school because John went to where'd you go?
Hobart College.
So John went to like a small liberal arts school too, with probably a student population of 1,500,
A little more like 1,900.
Yeah,
but
that's
the
about-
point is
that
still
was-
there.
That was about like Rollins.
Yeah.
And then Dan chimes in, and he goes, "Aaron Sorkin went to my school."
Syracuse is a little different.
In Syracuse, which has got like how many kids go to Syracuse at a time?
20,000 or whatever.
A little different.
What's your problem? I was just saying, notable alum.
The Syracuse alum is
Oh,
well
if-
done
if
in the
that's
broadcast
it,
injury.
If that's it, that's pretty bad for a university of that size. That's
Mike
like
Tirico. You know, I mean, these are
that's
the
like
people.
Michigan State bad. Like when we went through the notable alumni of Michigan State, and it was a real loser fest. In terms of celebrity, there's a lot of business people, but in terms of celebrity, not many at Michigan State. In fact, I think Rollins was even more impressive than Michigan State's. And Michigan State's got 100,000 kids or something ridiculous walking around there in the middle of nowhere. So, but Dan just needed to chime in.
I didn't need to chime in. I was just kind of having fun. I wanted to be included in the group.
That's it, though. Aaron Sorkin. That's it.
No,
from
it's
all
other
the
people.
years of Syracuse on the planet.
Mike
That's it.
Tirico?
No, but like
Ian Eagle? Vanessa
Not-
Williams?
non-sports.
Ty Diggs?
Who's Ty Diggs?
An actor known for Rent and Private Practice.
Tay Diggs.
Bobcat, oh yeah,
Tay Diggs.
Bobcat Goldthwait.
He went to Syracuse?
Yeah.
How is he on a Friday night? I'm wondering. How's Bobcat Goldthwait?
It shakes
Throwing
the
dinosaurs for wings.
That shakes the clown.
Man.
All right, but
Oh, and someone texted me, Fred.
yeah,
Tell Fred during the commercial break that clearly threat level midnight made an impact because you're still talking about it. So touche, buddy.
Who sent that to you?
I'm not telling you.
You have to.
Why?
Because you have to reveal your sources in this thing.
No, I
because
don't.
that's a really dumb thing.
Why?
Threat level midnight existed as something to be mocked by
it
shared
really
and
made an impact on you.
Yes, it's a fictional movie from a fictional show, which by
But you
design
remembered it.
Yes, because it was such an effective narrative tool to show the embarrassment and the nonsense that was Michael Scott that, yes, it did stick with me.
Yeah.
So, again, if you're just joining us, I feel Jayson Tatum's documentary he's making is his threat level midnight, in that it's a lot of people spending a lot of time making something that no one wants to see.
I want to see it.
I don't think you do.
I do.
I actually don't think. I actually
do.
don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I've spent the last 2 years with an Achilles injury. I'm curious to see it.
Oh, you're maimed.
Yeah.
I see. Your hobbleness is what you share.
Curious to watch.
How are you coming back from that Achilles?
Slowly.
Can you do your walking club at least?
Yeah. I've gone 4 times in the last 5 or 6 days.
What time you guys meet up?
7.
Where'd you meet up?
Right at the corner of houses, right at the.
Could anyone come?
Yes, everyone's open in the neighborhood.
What if you're outside of the neighborhood?
Yeah,
what
if he and I decided to show up?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we couldn't. We'd have to
Welcome
take a
you.
day off. You'd have to take a vacation day to walk.
Oh yeah.
You could send Nick.
Where do you guys walk?
It's a loop. There are several loops, but one is usually the main one where we walk through the cemetery.
Oh, how
it's like
macabre!
3.5
Do you do
miles.
any rituals in there?
No.
Okay. Because are you guys in
We
black
extended-
capes and
no,
black
then we
lipstick?
extended on Saturdays and Sundays.
Why do you walk through? It's odd that you would walk through a cemetery. Isn't that a little macabre?
It's a good little workout. It's up a hill and down a hill. So
But what about all the dead bodies?
I don't care. Michael Chiklis's parents are in there. Jay Leno's parents are in there.
It's not distracting for you.
No.
All the tombstones. Does anyone else find that rather macabre that they walk through a cemetery as a club?
I'm not visiting my
You play
future.
catch
It's
with
not
your dead
happening.
dad? Go ahead, say that too, Fred.
I had a cemetery walk that I did
No.
during the pandemic.
Thank you.
It's nice to walk through a cemetery. It's very
quiet.
peaceful. Yes.
Did you go with a group of people?
No, just solo. So your problem is that it's a group of people moving through? Would
I
you
don't
take
have a
a
problem
solo
with it
for-
all. I just do think it's a little macabre that they walk through a cemetery. That's all. What if there was grieving people in there and stuff, like visiting a recently deceased relative?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, we're just
turn that frown upside down. Let's come get some exercise.
Mind if I say a few words?
Why are you guys crying? Who died? Oh, yeah. Oh, big accident, huh?
I went to high school with the caretaker of the cemetery, too.
Of course you did.
Mark Atwood, great right-handed pitcher. Whew.
Yeah.
And I see him. Hey, what's up, Mark?
Does he come on and go, get out of my cemetery?
He's a good guy. Hi, Danny boy.
I dig the holes for which the bodies go.
No, that's your mind. It's nice. It's peaceful. How you doing?
You think of a caretaker as a cemetery. It's a real well-adjusted cat.
Goes out and has beers with you on a Friday night.
Yeah.
That guy.
We all got to work.
There's no doubt about it, Danny. We do. There needs to be grave diggers, or what we would do, we'd all have to be incinerated and have our ashes spread somewhere lovely. All right. Are you going to be cremated, or do you have a burial plot?
My wife wants.
Well, do you have a burial plot yet?
No, not yet.
When do you think you'll make that decision?
I don't know.
Where would you like to be buried?
I don't know.
No, ashes sprinkled over Fenway. That's Danny.
Danny.
That's Danny.
I don't know about that.
Oh, even better. Over JetBlue Park in Fort Myers. That's where the ashes go.
Wouldn't that be cooler to have your ashes literally, like seriously, like at Fenway Park, like have your ashes spread? Wouldn't that be cooler than just being buried in some cemetery?
Go ahead, John.
Cooperstown.
No,
Oh.
I thought you were going to go Crash Clark's mom style and bring him to Disney World.
Oh, that's even better. You're
Yeah.
right.
I could do a little bit of let's divide it up.
Well, that's
Right?
the beauty.
A fifth at Disney World, a fifth at Cooperstown, a fifth at Fenway, a fifth in Chatham, and a fifth in Fort Myers.
I can tell you this: if you are
Right?
cremated, it makes the situation for the family 1,000 times easier.
Yes.
My parents had my grandma, my dad's mom, in their closet in a box for like
really
before they could get it together to get everyone together to spread her ashes.
Right.
Yeah, it took like forever. Yeah. It took like a year, but I mean, big deal. It's not like they were desecrating them; they were just in a box in their closet in their bedroom.
Right. Like
big
my
walk-in
my
number.
Mom, Dad, and my brother are all in the same cemetery near my house, where I grew up in.
But wouldn't it be neat to be spread?
Yeah, I guess. I don't really think about it.
Danny, think about it.
No, thinking about it makes me sad.
Why?
That's what he's aiming for.
No. It wasn't. He brought it up,
why,
not
Fred.
me.
Fred, here's why.
But now you have it.
Well,
Thinking about this is what makes me sad about life, and I believe in God and what have you. But when you go, like I don't want to leave my wife and kids. I love them too much. I want to hang with them and just kind of guide.
You are
them
such
and
on an
be
island
with them through life.
You don't want to die?
No.
That makes you so unique. The mystery of it. What's wrong with you?
Yes.
You have some
And it keeps
questions
me
about
up
what
at night,
happens?
right?
Dan, it's almost like you're a person, a sentient being. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy.
We are Toucher and Hardy. Hardy's sick. Danny Roach is in here. And you can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Jim Bowden is a Rollins College guy. Is a former MLB GM and current MLB analyst for CBS Sports and The Athletic. I read him all the time. He is one of my bookmarked writers. I read everything he does.
Picks. It's just great to see.
I don't care about that.
Oh, sorry.
I only care about real life baseball.
Hell yeah.
I'm a real man. Jim Bowden. Hello, sir.
Hello, guys. How's the Sports Hub this morning?
Oh, we couldn't be firing more cylinders right now, my friend. We are
I love it.
We are on our A game.
Looking for you to save us here.
No, stop that, Jonathan. Don't make him think this isn't a good show. Jim, the last time we had you on, and I do really read you all the time. I think you're the best. I actually think you're the best national baseball writer. But we had you on after the Devers trade. You didn't like it then. How's it looking now?
It's funny. I was telling someone the other day, I said, can you imagine trading Mookie Betts and trading Rafael Devers, and the only guy you have left is Jose Bayo for him? Like, what? How does that happen? Yeah, I mean, look, what would this Red Sox team right now look like with Devers on it? Completely different. It's the one big missing point player that this team needs. So yeah, I didn't like it then. I don't like it now. I love Rafael Devers' bat. It's really hard to come by. And when you look at this Boston lineup, that's what they're missing. The one guy that can carry you when a team goes into a slump. So yeah, I hated it then. I hated the Betts trade. I hated the Devers trade. I hated the Reggie Smith trade. Yes, I go all the way back to then.
Yeah, and so Bregman was the reason that all the discord with Devers started, and now he's gone. But I'm going to give you a hypothetical. And would you rather have Bregman or Ranger Suarez right now if you're the Red Sox?
I mean, I personally would rather have Bregman, just because I believe in Peyton Toll. I like Early. I think you had enough. I think you needed that bat. I think you needed that leader, that mentor. I think, one of the reasons why Craig Counsell wanted Bregman so much is he saw the influence he had on Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer and the young guys that Boston had. And the one thing the Cubs were missing last year was that leadership guy. And that's why they targeted him the way they did. So, yeah, for me, the one thing I learned a long time ago, you need those leaders and those character guys to lead a team. Player leadership is so underrated in baseball. Bregman brought that to the table, so I'd rather have Bregman myself. But I do like Ranger Suarez, and I do like the fact that you got the power arm in Crochet, then you got the curveball in Gray, then you got the changeup in Suarez as your top three guys. So if you're a hitter and you're facing the Red Sox 3 days in a row, you're going to have all different looks coming at you. And I do think that plays extremely well. So I like the variation that Craig Breslow has built at the top of his rotation.
Circling back, Jim, were you surprised that Bregman, with the impact that he had on that team, seemed to love it here in Boston? Were you surprised that they didn't get a deal done somehow, some way, even before he hit free agency?
Yeah, so as you guys know, I dealt with Scott Boras for decades and negotiated many, many deals and got some players, lost some players, beat him in arbitration, lost to him in arbitration. And one thing that I know is he's always going to try to recommend to his client, take the best deal you possibly can get. And so when Scott comes to you and said, I got to have a no-trade clause or I got to have this particular opt-out, if you really want the player, you're going to have to give it. Because if someone else gives it, that's where the player's going. Scott's never been quote-unquote loyal to any specific team. He's loyal to the best contract he can get for the Boras Corporation to break records, and most of his clients go where he tells them to go in terms of the best deal out there. And so the Cubs were able to do some things with the structure of the contract, apparently, from what I hear, that the Red Sox weren't able to do. And so, okay, then you're not going to get the player. It's that simple. So, sometimes you have to overpay. Sometimes you have to give up things you don't want to give up in order to get the player. If the player is that important, then you got to pay the piper. Sorry, that's just how it works.
Okay, Tony Clark resigned yesterday. Obviously, there's December 1st, the collective bargaining agreement expires. If you're in charge of baseball, what is the best road ahead? If you could put a structure in, what would you do?
Well, let me start with this. If I'm a player, I don't want Bruce Meyer to take over for Tony Clark. And he's the number 2 guy, and he's the one that we're all thinking is, at least on an interim basis, going to be the guy. If I'm a player, I don't want that because Bruce is a litigator. He's not a negotiator. And when he gets in the room, he just says no. And if you tell him this guy is blue, he's going to say it's black. And you're just not, that's just what he is. And that doesn't work when you're trying to do deals. You know, Rob Manfred, say what you want. During his tenure, there's never been a work stoppage based on collective bargaining, only the pandemic. He does do deals. He is a deal maker. He is a negotiator, you know, and a litigator, but he's a negotiator. I'm really scared if Bruce takes over where this is going to go, to be honest. So if I'm the players, I want to make sure I have a negotiator that's going to do a deal because there's so much money in this industry. Why are you going to screw it up with a work stoppage? Number 2, I am a supporter of the salary floor and the salary cap for a couple of reasons. Number 1, that's what the fans want. I did a poll the other day. It was 77% wanted it, 23% didn't, and most of those 23% are in L.A. and New York. I think when you talk to most players on the bottom 10 teams, including the star players, they would like to see a salary floor and a salary cap. Now, we have an industry right now where the Dodgers have a $500 million payroll, and we have some teams that have a $70 million payroll. It's the differential that's caused the problem in baseball. And look, I understand L.A., New York, Boston, Philly, they should be able to spend more money than everybody else. If they're making more money, they should be able to spend more money. I get that. I think the TV revenue should be shared equally myself because you can't make money if you don't have somebody to play. And so if the other team's playing, then they should get paid the same amount you do for the same game that's being televised. Again, that's just my view, and I spent most of my life in a small mid-market, so I'm probably prejudiced that way. But I think it would make more sense if we had a 150 floor and a 350 ceiling, so the differential was $200 million and not $400 million. I think that would help the game. Still going to give advantage to the big markets. Still going to let people with the revenue spend what they need to spend, but I think we have to have a system that's a little bit fair. And my other argument is this. Major League Baseball players get 42% of the revenues right now. That's the least of any of the major sports. All the other sports, the players are getting somewhere between 48 and 51%. All the other sports have a salary cap. Why in the world, if you're a player, wouldn't you rather have 50% of the revenues? And the only people that are going to get really mad are the people at the top of the food chain. Right. The guys that are making between 500 and 700 million, they're the only ones that are going to get mad. The rest of the industry is going to make more money. Well, the minimum shouldn't be 780,000. It should be $1 million.
That's the thing is that if you look at the
middle class guys,
right? If you look at if any of the payrolls, the Yankees payroll, it's so completely out of whack that it seems to me that it seems to me easy to sell the union on this. The majority of the players, this is in their best interest, no?
You can't sell the union because the union is obsessed with no restriction at the top. There's an obsession with that. That's why every deal that's been done, they try to work around it by doing a quote-unquote soft cap, by more revenue sharing and the luxury tax. I mean, think about this. The Dodgers' luxury tax is higher than 16 teams' payrolls, full payrolls. Right. 16 teams. That's where we stand right now. And they're paying the luxury tax, and they can triple that, and it's not going to hurt them. The Dodgers are so well run, they're making the money. They can afford this. In fact, they could afford a much higher payroll. They could go to $1 billion a year and afford it with the money they're raking in right now. They've done an amazing job worldwide in bringing in revenue from all over the world and Asia and all the countries. It's incredible what they're doing. But again, the system's not working the way it should. So we need to find a way to get it better. And I think it's going to be hard to get a cap. I'll be honest with you. It's not going to be easy. But if I'm a player, that's what I want. And I think it's got to come from the players. You know, the leadership's not going to support it. But if you remember 2 years ago, they almost fired Bruce Meyer over these issues. Right, yeah. And if you remember, the players didn't want a work stoppage, even though Bruce Meyer wanted a work stoppage and the committee wanted it, but they didn't get the votes from the players. So this is a situation where, to me, it's not really on the clubs. The clubs are actually trying to help the players. They're actually trying to have a floor and a cap, and they're actually trying to get more revenue to all of the players. And if I'm a player, you know, I'm going to sit here and listen to all the information and make decisions. It's in their court. If they want a floor and a cap, they can get it. And I think everyone needs to not just listen. We expect Bryce Harper and Manny Machado to say, no, we should all be the dog. I expect them to say that. I get it. But I think if I'm sitting there and I'm the majority of players, I want a better system for the group.
And I'm glad you mentioned Bryce Harper, because Bryce Harper is the guy screaming at Manfred in the clubhouse. And if I'm any other player, shut the F up. You're not talking for me. Like, you got yours, right? Like, the system is benefiting you. It seems to me that if I was I agree with everything you said, and it's exceptionally logical. Forget about competitiveness of play, which is going to screw the sport if they can't get it together. Because I got news for you: if one or two teams every year is guaranteed to, be in the NLCS or be in ALCS, that's not good for anyone. If you're alienating half the teams at the beginning of the season, that's not good for anyone. But besides that, just the inequity in pay would be enough that if I was a union and it just takes a majority vote, it's in the best interest of everyone, like you just said. It's a little maddening, actually, that they're that stuck on it.
I'm with you. I'm not opposed to, the agents and players like Bryce Harper that want to fight for, when they see Ohtani get $700 million and then Soto beat that at $765. I understand why you don't want to restrict that. I get it. If you're that kind of player, yeah. But the union is supposed to help all the players, not just the superstars. And does it really make sense that we're paying Soto $765 million? Does that really make sense when you think about it?
No.
To try to put a winning team together? It just doesn't. So I think, again, like you said, the majority of the players have to get together and figure out what system is best for the entire union. And I would focus on we're getting 42% of the revenues. Why can't we get 50%? Doesn't that make more sense to get more money going into the players' pockets overall? Because right now, if you're a bottom 10 team, why should I spend more money? If I'm the Marlins, why should I spend more money? I can't win a World Series.
Mm-hmm.
I covered the Brewers last year, who won more games than anybody in the regular season. And then you get to the postseason, you look at them, and they can't play with the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. They did great in the regular season. I loved it, but they can't play with them. The system just isn't working, so let's fix it.
So, Jim, come December 1st, put your crystal ball in work here. What happens, and will it be affected, or has it been affected by what's happening with Clark here when they go December 1st hits our...
Well, I did all my media contracts to make sure I was covered in 2027 because
smart.
I got to be honest with you guys, it doesn't look good. So unless there is a drastic change here, we know where we're headed. These owners, they don't like the system, and so I think you're going to get a lockout, and then you're going to have the spring training lockout, and then we'll see what happens, and it depends on who's in charge and how influential the players are. If Bruce Meyer ends up getting in charge and has his way, he'll sit out a whole year. He doesn't care. He's been very clear. He gives me the vibes of Marvin Miller back in the day. He's a scary guy to be negotiating because he's a litigator, not a negotiator, and that scares me if he's going to be the leader for the players. So, again, they got plenty of time to do a deal. Baseball's bigger problem is the TV and streaming revenues, which they've got to figure out. For this game to go to the next level, they got to make sure they maximize it, and then we got to share it appropriately with all 30 teams. But that was a huge, drop ball. That was a huge mistake. Baseball's getting beat on the television streaming end, and that's a very important part of this labor agreement as well, because the more money they bring in, the more money there is for players.
Given that, how catastrophic would a work stoppage be for a game that is gaining traction over the last couple of years? It just seems like a lot more is at stake now than there was before.
Devastating. I lived through the 94 and 95 ones, and we were in first place in 94, and they shut us down. And then in 95, we got to the NLCS, but I don't know. We could have won in 94. We had a chance. We're in first place. And the game, it took years to come back, and then it took the PED era to save it, right? It took Sosa and McGuire and Bonds and all those guys to save it until they all got caught. It's hard to overcome. So work stoppage destroys the game, especially in today's day and age with so many different options that everybody has, right? So, fans will just move on. They're not gonna understand that. But I think what's going to be interesting this time is the last time it happened, the fans looked at it as the owner's fault and the team's fault and the greedy owners. This time, it's going to be interesting because the fans are the ones that want the floor and the cap.
Mm-hmm.
So they're on the other side this time. So, the players might find that the audience is less tolerant of them, which would be the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah, and if Bryce Harper is the face of your union from a publicity standpoint, you're in trouble, because I wouldn't want him speaking for any organization that was representing me. He's a
the hard part is that when you're in the room, in the clubhouses, it's hard for the young players to step up and go against your superstar player.
Absolutely. I understand that.
And that's why it's very important that people like Paul Skeens of Pittsburgh and the superstar players on the bottom 10 teams stand up and fight for what's right. Their voice has to be heard, because you're not going to hear Bryce Harper or Manny Machado or these big market guys, stand up for everybody else. So you have to have the superstars on the bottom 10. You need Bobby Witt Jr. in Kansas City to step up. I mean, that's what you have to look for, I think, if we're going to avoid a work stoppage.
It would be nice, and it would make a lot of logical sense. Jim Bowden from The Athletic, thank you as always, sir.
Thanks for the time, guys. Love your show.
Appreciate it. Thank you. He does. He absolutely does. He's a big fan, constantly listening from Milwaukee.
You know what he does in the winter? My favorite is if you can catch him. He's all different radio shows and stuff, but he just makes up trades that you would like to do, and you hear him, and you're like, oh, that makes sense, and everything else. It's great radio.
This work stoppage is really going to bug me because there's no reason it should happen.
And you have all of this time. There's a lot of time.
10
months is a long way. We're not like 2 months out here. I mean, and it's not like they didn't know it was coming. This whole cap issue, this was something that was talked about a year ago. And now we have another 10 months before this is, set in stone. There's plenty of time for everyone to get their ducks in a row.
Get in a room, get it done.
Well, not with this. They were going to fire this guy that's in charge. That's going to be named the interim head of the union. They wanted to fire him 2 years ago. I knew
Meyer
that.
is a flamethrower, boy. It doesn't sound good.
Well, they wanted to fire
him.
And they were voting against them.
Yeah.
Like they can't keep him as the head of the union. They're not going to vote for that. If they all know what's going on. I can't imagine if they wanted to fire a guy 2 years ago and they were actively voting against what he was suggesting, that he's going to be the guy that they want to put their cart behind. The horse they want to put their cart behind. All right. Do you have emails, Dan, besides the dumb text from your stupid friend?
No. Even if I did, I wouldn't tell you anymore now. They got to phrase it that way.
Well, how dare they come at me? They get the bull. You mess with the bull, you get the horn.
Okay.
I got one or two here that we can use.
All right, very good. We will have our award-winning email segment in just a moment featuring Dan Roach.
You're listening to
Hardy email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman, Dan Roach.
All right.
You just don't send a email. You call all 7. So if I was to ask you what the number was, it's all 7s. It starts with 61. What would you guess the number is?
617-777-7777.
Kaboom. He's right. 617-777-7777. Or visit gottagetglassman.com. Blind Scott was on hold for a long time. I didn't take the call. I do apologize, Dan, but we had him on yesterday.
Okay.
He says in his 400 emails that he sent today, one is, I came out of the closet as a cow furry on Instagram, and it gave me 200 followers. Thoughts?
Well, good for you. That's wonderful.
You don't have any comment on that?
No. Go ahead. Good.
He's literally probably sent 50 emails, and it's all just the subject because he's blind. So he's yelling into his phone, and it's just the subject line.
Nick was sharing earlier that on a video that he posted to the Toucher and Hardy Instagram account, there are 45 comments, did you say? I'm sorry. 28 comments. All of the comments are Blind Scott. So I was pontificating. I was like, I wish I had the acumen in analytics to be able to figure out how much reach is Blind Scott alone responsible for with regards to our social media content.
Well,
is it driving engagement or is it limiting?
Well, the thing is that the thing about Blind Scott spamming him is that's probably not ideal, but it is funny when he gets in arguments with people because the idea that someone fancies themselves sane, yet they're spending their time on their phone arguing with Blind Scott is a delicious piece of irony to me. Also, misguided hubris that you've now locked up with Blind Scott in a battle of wits, running around thinking that you're sane. You're commenting on videos. If it's part of the, you know my theory, and I'm not going to get into it. You comment on videos all you want. I don't understand why you comment negatively to videos. I just don't understand that impulse. I understand having discussions, thinking things aren't funny, not liking them. I don't know of the point of being alone and what gratification you get for crapping on something on Instagram.
Are you somehow setting the world straight on what they should think?
It's such a it's not good for you. Like you have to have that self-awareness that this isn't a good way to spend your time. Because I guess you'd be alone, looking at Instagram, and then that impulse while you're alone to crap on something. My son sends me those Boom videos because he knows I'm going to go nuts. But I don't comment on the Boom video guy. They don't need to hear it from me. I do it on the radio where I'm paid. Or I do it in my own home. Here's something about that text you got. And Nick made a video of it. It's up at Toucher and Hardy and at Fred Toucher on Instagram, where I have not plugged that for a very long time. We need to get up to 28,000. Where am I? I'm somewhere.
I thought it was 25K. You were up and then you passed that.
Yeah. Way past that. Oh yeah.
25.5. Where are we?
Where's Kendra? I need to get a picture with her immediately. Every time I take a picture with Kendra, which is not often.
26.4.
There you go.
So we're closing on 27.
Right? Huzzah!
If we get up to 30, then the brand deals come into play.
Awesome.
So I said Jayson Tatum's documentary is like Threat Level Midnight, the Michael Scott movie that he made in The Office, in that it's a preposterous notion of someone spending a lot of time and energy into making something that ultimately no one would want to see. And it's almost humorous in its embarrassment and cringe. And then Dan had an unnamed person. Mm-hmm. It's not your wife, is it?
No.
Because I'll stop if it is. Okay. And an unnamed person said, hey, Threat Level Midnight was great.
Made an impression on you.
Because it made an impression on me. This is from Ryan. Idiot about Threat Level Midnight. Whoever said that about Threat Level Midnight is an idiot. It's not an actual movie. It's part of an episode of an extremely popular and memorable TV show. People have to say stupid things just to cause an argument with you. I'm on your side.
Yeah.
Well, that's from Ryan.
Who missed it about
Ryan
missed
Beaton?
the point. Oh, was that Beaton?
Beaton thinks that. If he didn't, just because he didn't
got a
email
nod.
it.
He said it. He's
I know it was in my corner now.
Yeah.
This is from Blind Scott. One more, and then I'll stop. I feel absolutely awful that Knicks not going to answer phones for the rest of the week. I'm not a fan of George because George has gone out of his way to hurt my feelings. He's a special type of jerk to me. We do know that George, if anything, besides his whimsical use of the flute during shows for no reason, is also incredibly cruel.
So I am a champion of the people.
Well, you're not if you're being
He
cruel.
oozes confidence in kind of like almost like a 50s gang guy, like a greaser. He's just sitting there poking fun at everyone because he knows he can kick everyone's ass. That's the problem. All right, John, what do you got?
Good morning, gentlemen and feathered one. I got roped into a potential nightmare scenario. I've agreed to go do a family vacation on a Disney cruise with an 8 and a 5-year-old this June. So 1, is this worse than John dragging his family around Europe? And 2, how much hell am I really in for? Well, I can answer the first one. Not hellish at all. The hotel rooms were a bit small, but we had a good time. We had a good time.
No, it was horrible. Come on, John.
We had a good time.
No, you didn't.
We absolutely did.
You came back and you admitted like a man how terrible it was.
The hotel rooms were very small. You warned me about that. That was the discussion.
Yeah, and I had so much respect for you because you actually came back and owned it, and you're like, I made a terrible mistake.
But spending time with my family.
Of course, John, that being with your family is in itself a nice thing.
Would you go back?
Here's the problem, is that it happens with everyone, me included. You look back now on the vacation, and all you remember is we were together. Like, and it was in these, because by design, your mind, it shouldn't remember the terrible stuff. That's why you got to, I always remember when my kids were little to remember the terrible things because everyone told me it happened so fast, and in a way it does, because now my kids are getting older and it's a difficult adjustment. But I do recall being in Maine and having my son go so crazy that we had to leave at 4:30 in the morning. And when we left our room, there was the people next to us out on the porch at 4:30 in the morning because we had driven them insane.
I remember that.
Why would you remember all the miserable things and not all the great memories?
Because we have this way of cognitive dissonance. So to make this part easier, I wanted to remember not terrible like death and broken bones. I'm talking about like when having a toddler, you think back and you see a toddler like you are at the store and there's a lady with a toddler and the toddler is like laughing and having a good time and you're like, oh, my kids, they used to be that age. But you don't remember the wet fish screaming and yelling in your ear in the car until you have to pull over and get out and walk around so you don't put a gun in your mouth. These are the things that you have to remember.
I do know the hotel room. We had 2 hotel rooms about as big as this half of this table, and it was just hellish.
The trip itself, was it good?
What's that?
The trip itself was good?
The trip itself, actually, Fred, now you can back me up on this. I tried to save money, so I flew Delta, and I flew through Delta's hub. So going to Paris, I flew to Atlanta, then to Paris. So needless to say, it was 2.5 hours to Atlanta, and then another 6.5 to Paris. On the way back, flew through Detroit, which isn't altogether bad.
No,
but our
it's better than Atlanta.
We thought we could make the connection. We spaced it 2 hours apart. Nope. Customs in Detroit took us 2.5 hours. Missed that flight. Had to wait 4 more hours at the Detroit airport before we got home.
Now listen, Logan Airport I think Logan is a fantastic airport, but as a hub of really nothing, it has its issues with domestic travel. But one thing is, you get to Europe lickety split. I mean, there's no shortage of that E-terminal is cooking at all hours, baby.
We had tried to save money. That will never happen again. I think we're going to go to London this summer. So
Mary Mena, give John more money.
Yes, we're going to try to go to London this summer. We're flying direct. Flying direct, I don't care how much it costs. But the most important part of this email was the second one.
Okay.
Guy's taking a Disney cruise with an 8 and a 5-year-old. Dan, how much hell is he in for?
A good amount. But what you have to do is siphon them off to the kids' activity areas.
Yeah, the cruise won't be bad because there's a kid activity area. The thing is
Castaway Key's awesome.
No, it's not. The thing is that the Disney cruises aren't good. That's the problem. Yeah, and Dan will agree.
I'd much rather stay at the parks.
Yeah, because at least the parks, the kids have stuff to do. Unless your kids are somehow marveled by people with costumes on for 7 days. Then, I told you, my kid said, why do you think people like this? Because there was a bunch of adults surrounding a woman dressed as Cinderella, and my kids were little. And they're not like, miniature physicists. I mean, they're normal little kids. I know they have a very cynical on the radio dad, but this wasn't cynicism. It was a legit question. Like, why do people like this? Like, why do people care about this? And then I looked around and I'm like, Disney World is Disney World. There's rides. It's all Disney World. A Disney cruise is just a boat with some paintings on it. It's not really Disney
there's not
anything.
a lot to do.
No. And it's a smaller boat than a regular cruise.
Yeah, we had more fun staying the day before at Disney World and the day we got back at Disney World than we did during the whole 4-day cruise.
And if Dan didn't like it, I got news for you. It's not, your kids will be fine. Your kids will put them in a kids club, but you nothing to do. Dan, go ahead.
Hey, Fred, love the show, but you really need to shut up when it comes to baseball and the salary cap. And I'm going to use radio as an example. I think you and I could agree that, there's some very high-paid people in radio, and everybody else doesn't make a lot of money.
That's right, baby. It's good to be on top.
Why don't we institute a salary cap on radio so there's better competition across the spectrum?
If I was in a union, if I was in a union, in my position in radio, I would not want a salary cap. But if I was anyone else short of a couple, the majority of the station would want a cap and a floor. And that's what a union is.
Right.
So I would be against the union. But then ultimately I would side with the labor because I wouldn't want to be a dick. Believe me, I played union dudes.
So you'd be fine for paying. So you'd be fine taking, say, half your salary so Nick could have a decent wage, or that Wallach could fly to Europe.
So Wallach could have a floor.
I'm hoping for that.
Did you hear Jim Bowden? Jim Bowden said, yeah, guys like Soto and Harper aren't going to want this. And I am the Soto, of course, of this radio station.
You're more Harper.
Okay, but if it's good for them, it's good for you. So would you be on board with a salary cap at 98.5 or WEEI so everybody else can get paid?
No.
So there's more competition down the dial.
No, but the union would be, because it would be in the best interest of most people in the union. So I don't get your point. The point
is, you want to imply business rules on other businesses that don't affect you personally.
But if it's best. No, as an individual, I wouldn't want it. But the union here would want it, and it would be best for the union.
And if the union voted for it, you'd have to deal with it.
Exactly. Okay. And also, I'm not sure if I would be affected on the. It depends.
Well, you'd get a floor for John, so he can.
Fly direct to Paris.
Yeah, you get a floor for Johnny, and then he could stop his miserable life making everyone sad.
What?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a positive.
Oh.
I mean, the guy's saying you wouldn't want it, and it's like, yeah, I wouldn't want it, but that's not the issue.
Yeah, he wasn't listening. That wasn't your point.
Well, no, it's you don't even have to be listening. It's that the union should want it, not Soto. Of course, Soto doesn't want it. The union should want it.
So when it goes to vote,
right, it's in the best interest of the majority of the union to vote for it. I wouldn't want it necessarily if you're putting me as like a high-priced talent.
Of players, of course you don't want it.
Of course I wouldn't want it.
Scott Boras doesn't want it.
Exactly.
It's certain people.
But it's a union, and they're a labor organization, and so the majority rules. Believe me, that's the point of unions. And I don't think anyone's going to be struggling for salary in Major League Baseball. I mean, you're talking about the difference between making what does Soto make? $500 million?
Yeah, it's $13,765
with the revenue sharing going up. What would you make? $450?
Right.
I mean, come on. Let's come on. All right. So we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
The Stack is brought to you by New England's largest Volkswagen dealer group, Colonial VW, located in Medford, Wellesley, and Westboro. Come see the amazing finance and lease offers happening every day at colonialvw.com. Yes, you can have it all at Colonial. We had a listener call in to challenge me on the union thing with baseball and said, like, if you were in the union, would you want it? And that's not the point. The point is that the union would want it. And to that point, when I came to Boston, for whatever reason, I guess BCN had a big strike, like in the 70s.
In the 70s.
They had a big strike.
Okay.
So there was a union that they never got out of.
Yeah.
But I do have a quiz for a little riddle for Rochi here.
Oh.
So I paid for my own end. I paid union dues for a union that didn't even have anything to do with me. It didn't. My contracts weren't covered by the union. They had no negotiating power for me. I just paid into this union because that's what you did. So I belonged to a union. I have no idea what union it was. I'm sure Adam does. But if you had to guess one person at the station who hated the union and rallied against the union because they didn't think the union was doing anything productive for them, could you guess who it was?
Wallach.
Who?
John Wallach.
Yeah, he's a real rabble-rouser. If you had to guess someone at the station, so you have to think the union, they need the union. They feel like the union should be helping them. This is at like a year into the Sports Hub. Can you think of who on the Sports Hub? No, Hardy.
Really?
Hardy would. I guess he was quite vocal in these union meetings.
Wow.
He wanted the union to do more. He didn't think the union was doing. Remember, he went part-time when we switched to the Sports Hub, and he had a
Hardy's
kid
awesome.
on. He had a daughter and a kid on the way.
Hardy's a fighter.
He's a big rabble rouser in those union meetings.
I like
apparently.
that feistiness in him.
Adam was in those. Well, no, maybe not anymore.
No, I was in the ones before with
Mingles. That was just Mingles' situation.
Oh, Mingles.
Mingles was the shop steward, I believe.
Yes, he was.
Mingles just, he got the money and he knew where to put it.
We never went to the union headquarters and went drinking. That's a shame.
You know what? I look back and I think about that, and I think it's probably for the best we didn't go, because they'd probably be like, "Why the hell are you here?" And then we'd be like,
beer. "Yeah, exactly."
Yeah, and we'd be like, "We're in the union," and they'd be like, "Not really," So it's probably better. It was like an electrical union.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a radio.
Oh, really? I believe.
It was an electrical union.
Yeah.
Like, there was no reason for us to be in it.
That's right. It wasn't a SAG-AFTRA thing. It was something else.
No,
right?
it was
an electricians.
Because John, so in the 70s, the at the time, I don't know if it was Viacom or whoever owned WBC.
Oh no, it was way before that.
They tried to, Hemisphere Broadcasting, whatever. They tried to fire all the engineers who were unionized. So the air staff and talent in solidarity walked out. And then when everybody came back to the negotiating table, the engineers kept their jobs, and then the entire radio station staff, from sales to on-air to promotions to marketing, everybody joined the union, and it just stayed that way for decades.
Are you positive that's why that strike started?
I'm pretty sure. It was
I think
because
it was
they were
I think it was an on-air issue, an on-air staff issue. But I could
Maybe
be.
I'm
I'll
thinking
have
of
to
a different issue.
I'll have to go back to Carter Allen's history of WBCN. Very quickly, ESPN has a not interesting article listing every NFL team and a player that could use a change of scenery. It's a hard one for the Patriots. Can you guess who they get?
Do that.
I don't know. It's stupid. It's Breece Hall for the Jets. It's like, no. But they're going to keep him.
Right.
But who do you guess for the Patriots? It's hard because they were so successful.
Yeah.
Barmore, because
it is Barmore.
Oh,
so
it
good
is.
guess.
Good
But
guess.
Dan, do you think if this assault and battery thing starts getting deep, that the Patriots will remove themselves?
Possibly. I think it just depends on what Vrabel sees in Barmore or hears from Barmore in regard to the whole situation.
What do you think the limit is on that? Like, I mean, if this goes to trial and he's on trial for assault and battery, and this is moving along, how much patience for that do you think the Patriots will have?
I don't think much.
Okay. Because of the two, who knows? But of the two, this seems worse.
Yes.
And they were not as vocal in their support of Barmore.
No,
as they were of
very quiet. Very quiet. Yes.
Danny, thank you so much. Last second, but I was on it. I was on it personally. When you get one from me,
Well, it's important.
You know, you got into that status. Thank you so much, Dan, for everything.
Thanks for having me, Fred.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Adam.
And Adam's gone the
Thanks,
next 2 days. Adam's out of here. We'll have
Where you going?
George.
Oh, George tomorrow.
No, we're on a plane.
Maine and New Hampshire doing some skiing and snowboarding. Dan.
Awesome.
Thanks
Good for you. You deserve it.
He hasn't been on a plane in 15 years.
Adam?
Yep.
Yeah.
What's your problem?
No, I have many problems, Dan. but none we can get into right now.
He's a mountain man. He loves cold.
Yes, I do.
All right. That'll do it for us. Everyone have a great day. Bye.
Talk to you tomorrow. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
The savings are bigger than Mount Rushmore during this President's Day sales event at Bernardi Toyota. Lease a 2026 Corolla LE for just $179 per month for 39 months with only $19.99 cash or trade down. Save big at Bernardi Toyota. Approved credit, no security deposit required. Taxes and fees excluded. $4.99 dealer fee offer expires 3/4/26.
Scrub-A-Dub's